This is the Rushmore Show where it's all about your top four and nothing more. Andy, it's movie month. We're out of music. Bye, music. See you later. Hey, but guess what? We have a music movie one coming up this month. I believe we have a couple video game ones coming up, and it's time to start a new series, movies and TV. If you're hanging around here in the chat, I see four of you starting to roll in. Say hello to everybody. Genesis is in the house. Genesis is one of my students. Thank you for being here, Genesis. We have 12 days left of school. It is amazing. So thanks for being here, Genesis. Hey, and look, Andy, let's chat about music. How you feel about music went?
I'm just sad that it's done because it's my nerd topic. It is my nerded out topic, but it was a lot of fun. Absolutely. We like you said, we're still going to kind of still talk about some, so it's going to be happening. Just kind of in the movie realm. So, but yeah, I'm excited for movies and TV though. This is another fun series for sure.
Yeah, I think we're losing people. Hey, Crunch is in the chat. Welcome to the chat, Crunch. Don't know how you found us or if you're a friend of our guests, but if you are, you're absolutely welcome to be here. And this little thing here is for you if I can find it. Game Dad's in the house, so you must be with Game Dad. So this is all for you, my friend. We call all of our guests part of this community the Summit Squad. So welcome to the Summit Squad. Hey, so all that means is you're welcome in this community at any time. And what we do is we rank our top four, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're out in the chat, be sure to, before you leave, to leave your top four, 4, 3, 2, 1, before you go. If you want to hang around the whole time we're here, go 4, 3 as we go 2, 1. So you're welcome to be here. Thanks for being here. And our guests are chatting it up in the chat, so be sure to say hello. 8 of you in the house. I'm sure that number will big up. Our record ever, Andy, is 41. I have a feeling we're going to hit that 41 sometime soon and pass it because the community has just been live the last few weeks. So let's get down to business. So a little Mulan. Did Mulan have a game? So we're going to talk
Yes.
about. We're going to talk about. We've already chatted up in the Rushmore sphere of topics. We've talked about video games like Super Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter that started as a game and then developed their own movie. Tonight, we're going to talk about basically licensed video games that started from a property that was in the film world, movies and TV, and then transferred over to have a video game afterwards. So what I know about this is they've gotten better at these in the more recent times. Back in the day, yeah, if you brought one of these movies out, it was usually like this bombshell that's behind me. It was usually considered one of the worst games. Now there are a bunch out there that now playing them, say 20 years later, they are super nostalgic and we have a lot of fun regardless. So we're allowing all movies and even TV games to jump in. So Patrick, I don't have it on mine for sure, but it is definitely a big part of video game lore and culture, and I had to have it on the tube. Let's get this thing going, Andy. What do you think about the list? Was it hard for you?
Well, it was definitely fun. Hey, I want to shout out Christina Payne is in the house. Thank you for joining us, Christina. Thank you. We always love having you here.
Christina is always amazing. Always amazing.
Yeah.
And Christina always brings Patrick's. Hey, listen, if you're in the chat, you probably have a wrench by now. If you don't have a wrench, Your wrench is about. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Is there a dodgeball game?
Yes, there is, but not probably not from the movie.
What's going on with the internet? The internet. I'm gonna throw a wrench at it. No. So, anyways, we're going to give you some wrenches and then share your channel in the chat. So if you already have your wrench, do it now. If you don't have your wrench, let's do it. Let's do it right now. So here we go. Add as a moderator. There you go, Crunch. And Kev's in the house. Kevin Sims is my childhood friend, as always. We love him. Dusty Flotilla. Welcome to the show. Let's add. So now that you have a wrench, share your channels and welcome to the channel. So,
hey, Kirk,
Andy, let's
Kirk,
do
you've
this
got
thing.
some.
Let's do this thing.
I think Dylan's correct. Your beard is messing with your Wi-Fi signal. I don't know what's going on. You keep chopping in and out like crazy. So, just letting you know.
I knew I was chopping in and out, and I thought you were chopping in and out. I don't know who it is. It's one of us. My signal seems fine. I don't know what's going on. But hopefully we'll figure it out. So let's get going and see if we can't fix it and figure out what's going on. If not, I'll jump out, you jump in, and you control the thing until we get back. Thanks, Dylan. We love you, man. Dylan's been on a long time. So let's do this thing. Tonight we're talking about the Rushmore of movies that became video games. Let's get it. Yeah, that was great. On my side. Did you see the whole video? I don't know. So, Andy, I'm going to jump out, and I'll jump back in so to see if we can't fix it on my side.
Yep, that's fine. I will take over from here, and we will welcome you back as soon as you get here. But look, like you heard the man say, let's go. Whoa, that's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. All right, this is the joy of live internet, right? This is what happens. Hey, like he was saying, we are doing tonight our top 4 Rushmores of kind of basically licensed video games that are based on movies. And we're bringing in some good friends, some brand new to the channel as far as being a guest, but they've been in the comments and in the chat, and we're very excited about this. So we're going to bring them on one at a time. First, joining us tonight, we've got a new friend, like I said, Game Dad. What is going on, sir? How are you? Let me get this.
I am good. And right as you bring me on, my mic starts to fall off my desk. So that's fun.
It just kind of, it's fitting for tonight. It seems like everything is falling apart, but that's just a microcosm of life, isn't it?
There we go.
How are you doing, man? I'm excited to have you here tonight.
I am doing well.
Yeah,
this is awesome. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Well, you are streaming to your channels as well, so I know your community knows about you, but many of the people in the Summit Squad right now, the Rushmore Show side of things, may not know who you are. Just give us a quick, what is your channel all about? Why are you, why'd you decide to come on and talk about movie video games?
Oh, it is all about me. No, I'm kidding.
It is all about you, absolutely.
I decided to come on because, it sounded like a fun topic. And, I do like video games. I'm more zoomed in now, so people can. Oh, there now people can see. The running joke is I live in a Blockbuster, except I have a better selection than they did. But on YouTube I cover pretty much all things gaming, retro, modern. I do a lot of things with restorations and mods. And I'll do a lot of unboxings of various tech and gaming related paraphernalia. And then outside of that, it's all about, going to cons and meeting people, hanging out, seeing what I can find, collecting. I have a small bit of a problem, as you can see, but yeah.
Well, we don't consider it to be a problem. We envy that a little bit. So that looks awesome.
My wife will say I'm a hoarder, and I say no. The distinct difference is The floor is more open than a hoarder. It's not one path. I have multiple, and I have an inventory. So it's
There
different.
you go. So you got it. You don't have a problem. We found that. So
I don't have a problem. It's organized. Yeah, I know where everything is.
well, we're
In a
excited to
couple
have you on
weeks,
tonight,
we're
and
gonna
we're
talk
excited to have
Friday
the
movie,
conversation.
and that's organized too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we don't only have. Look, this is special for you guys tonight. No, sometimes we only have one guest, but we're got a panel of 4 tonight. So we're bringing on another guest. We're going to introduce him right now. B. Ross is in here. What is going on, fella?
How you guys doing? Love your show. I'm happy I'm here, man. This is
I'm
awesome.
excited to have you on. We talked backstage a little bit about beards and tattoos and stuff. So I'm a fan of what's happening right there. So hey, why don't you let us know, man, all about your show, all about your channel. What is it that you do? What kind of passions and fandoms are you associated with?
Well, I co-host a show called Super Garbage Day. It's a retro video game review show, and ultimately, I was a garbage man for a while, and so that's kind of was the whole premise behind it. But we kind of work in a way where we don't even choose the games. Our community puts them on a wheel. We spin it, and then we have to play the games and review them. So that's kind of been our mantra the whole time. We're a little behind on episodes. I had to go out of state for like 3 weeks for a family issue, but we just got back yesterday. So I'm glad that I was able to make this happen. As you can see, my game room only has a Rob the Robot and an NES in it at the moment, but I can assure you there's a lot more. I thought he was coming from like an actual GameStop or something, or like a retro store. That is,
Yeah,
I am impressed. But
it's pretty awesome.
yeah, so we're all about the retro games. Been a big collector, lifelong gamer, been there since Mario 1. I mean, we're the same age, so yeah, I'm happy to be here. And I love movies and movies and television shows that are associated with video games. So
Yeah,
we just did an episode. I should have brought that up. We did an episode on our YouTube that is the best and worst ranked NES games based off movies. So
perfect.
yeah.
So you're just jogging some memory too. I like that, man.
So
Yeah.
couple things before we get started. Thanks for being here. 15 people in the chat. Say hello. Make sure you've hit the like button. That is what I have found in these lives to be the most important thing. Get that like up. That's the cool part. And then, so we're going to start the show. Andy, did we figure out who's going first in this whole deal?
We didn't.
Coin flip. So
Coin flip.
let's do it this way. Since it was originally B. Ross's show, and he's the one that chose the topic, do you want to go first or second?
I'll absolutely go first.
All right, sweet.
So B. Ross is going to go first. Chris, you'll go second. This is a new month, so Andy, you're in the 3-hole, and I'm hitting cleanup for all the movies and TV. And then, so this is how it goes. The first one, just the first one, we have to kind of paint the picture of why you would choose these games. So what we've learned over this course is that a Rushmore, in the sense of your top 4, is literally your favorite of something that we're doing in pop culture. And if you're a sports fan, and you don't have to be a sports fan to know this person that I'm about to talk about, if I was to say the name Tom Brady, it will either tell you he is the greatest of the GOATs, or you can't stand him. Like you want to put him in the garbage can, right? Garbage day. So it's one of the two, because maybe you're a Giants or a Jets fan, you definitely don't like him. If you're a Tampa Bay fan, you liked him at the end of his career. If you're a Falcons fan, you hate him. If you're a Saints fan like us, we hate him. But here's the deal. He's the GOAT in many other worlds. So it's the Michael Jordan, LeBron James conversation. It's the what my kids at my school do every day they walk in the door. Mr. P, Ronaldo or Messi. Every day, every day, every day, every day. And so here's the thing. We have to explain kind of your background, where you're from, your age, all of in a little bit of what we call the criteria. So your criteria is going to map out what your 4 are going to be, and it's going to make a lot more sense to everybody else why you choose something that they don't necessarily love. So kicking off the show, just on this first one, you're going to say, this is what I was thinking when I built my list. and then we're just gonna go 4 everybody, then 3 everybody, 2 1. So you're up. B. Ross, tell us your criteria for tonight. You chose the topic, and then let's see where we go.
Okay, so originally I didn't realize we were going to couple in TV shows. I'm glad we did, because that really expanded the list. If you think about the fourth, so this would be, wow, I'm such a bad American. It's not Teddy, but it's
Rose.
We'll just look at that one.
Rose.
Okay. Rose. So, originally I was thinking movies, made that list, and then I was like, oh, we can do TV shows. So I really think that my criteria for choosing this would be something that emulates or perfectly encapsulates its source material perfectly and digitally across. And so at number 4, at Teddy, I am going to go with South Park Stick of Truth.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
It's absolutely like playing an episode of the show. The production value, the writing, and they had a lot of misses with some of their first South Park games, pretty big misses. But if I can't think of a show that translates better exactly to a video game than Stick of Truth or the Fractured But Whole, but I'm going to go with Stick of Truth since it was the first one of that series.
Okay.
Are you saying you didn't like
Andy,
playing
I'll
with the
jump
yellow
in real
snowball?
quick. I'll just jump in. So it is widely known, if you've watched this show now, we are in season 4, episode 17. That there was a time in my life I watched South Park. There was a time in my life that I watched some of these cartoons, but I would much rather a children's cartoon than an adult cartoon a million times a week. And I don't get into them anymore, not even close. When I watched South Park, it was military time. When I was in my tour, some of the guys watched it. I have not played this game, but Chris, you mentioned Square Pegs. Some of the people in your chat mentioned Square Pegs, and from you, when Square Pegs was here, he brought this game up in his list, I think as an honorable mention, because we were talking about what were we talking, underrated games or something, Andy? Anyways, I think he brought this one up. And look, man, I've looked it up because of that, and it looks like a really cool RPG.
It's a really in-depth RPG, actually.
Yeah, it's so in-depth for being a video game, and it's. I mean, I really enjoy it, and I'm glad it made the list because for those that like this, it deserves a chat. Andy, I don't think you've played this, but you did like South Park for a minute. What you think?
Well, I will tell you this: you used the dreaded 3 letters that immediately turns me off of this game, RPG.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's very well known. I'm not an RPG guy, but I did watch a lot of South Park growing up as a kid. After coming to Jesus, like it's not been like a thing for me that I've like watched or whatever. But there are definitely some memories back in the day of watching South Park. I've never played this game. This looks like it was a little bit newer. There was, again, quite a few, or at least there was the one that was mentioned on, I think, the underrated games or whatever was the Chef's Love, whatever.
Chef's
something.
Love,
Yeah. That was the game that got mentioned. So I've not heard of this game in particular. I will say, pulling up gameplay shots of it, like you said, looks like I don't know which one's the episode and which one's the game. So, I mean, they did pretty good, at least from a visual standpoint. It looks like pretty spot on.
Hey, one of my favorite people just showed up in the chat. Barry, hello. Love you, man. B2. So, Chris, what do you know about this?
Let's see. I have played the Fractured But Whole. You got to watch your emphasis there. And I have played a little bit of Stick of Truth. And like, I was never huge into South Park. I mean, I think I actually saw the movie before I ever saw an episode. And I mean, I thought it was hilarious. It's a disgusting movie, but it was funny. And I mean, the games, I mean, like everybody's already said, yeah, it's like you're playing an episode of the show. It's written in that same way. It plays in that same way. And it's it's really fun. And I mean, Andy, you'd like Gary from Rock Solid Productions. He cannot stand RPGs, and we constantly try to tell him how wrong he is. But he's the same way. And yeah, I mean, if it's a good RPG, I'm down. JRPGs, I was never really a fan of, but it started growing on me since like the Pixel remaster with Final Fantasy and stuff. But yeah, I mean, they are solid games. I haven't gone through the entire games on them because my backlog is a little big. But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
So real quick, I'm a huge RPG guy. Just let's get that out of the way. And I love JRPGs too. But Andy is not a fan. Andy likes to play video games that don't last past that moment. Like he wants to play it, finish it, do whatever, and then not play video games for tomorrow. He's not in a whole bunch of games.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Yeah. I am a big fan of Zelda and those games. That's not a sit down and finish it and you know whatever. That's a pick it up tomorrow kind of thing too. So there's some games there for sure.
You don't like menus.
I don't. Well, here's the thing. I don't like lists in real life. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to I don't want inventory. You know, I'm just not.
There are some out there that are live action that you probably should play, Andy. But I know that's one of the things that get you.
I do like the Pokemon games, so that's as far
literally
as
a JRPG.
I like, but see, and I say this every time.
So
I have enough.
We did an RPG episode, and Andy had like Pokemon on there 3 times.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing: I like those games because there's enough nostalgia for me in Pokemon to make me love it. I have no nostalgic connection to any other RPG that I've ever played, but I love Pokemon. So anyway, that's.
So we got a bunch
you said Patrick's comment
before they head out. Yeah, Alan Williamson, haven't seen you in a minute. Glad to see you back. Alan is an old. He's an old modern day Breakfast Club guy. Hi Barry. He says. Patrick Little asked up here a little before this. Does wrestling games count? And I actually thought about it for a second, but we've already done a wrestling episode too. So I'm not going to count it. If they count it, I'll honor it. But there's so many wrestling games, we would just do wrestling games. We've already done that.
I don't like wrestling.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
All right. Well, that's a good way to start the Mountain B, Ross. We are going on to Game Dad, to your Rosie. Give us your criteria. What were you thinking? How did you kind of maybe narrow down this list? And then we're going to go to your number 4, Rosie.
So my first criteria was oh crap, I got to remember what movies had games from them. So it was just memory first, and then it was just kind of what I remembered really stood out from like childhood. So that's why my number 4, and I'll give a little context afterwards. My number 4 is going to be Ghostbusters.
Oh my!
And
it's good.
No, not the NES one. Ew. No, the Master System one. The Master System Ghostbusters is a phenomenal game, and the NES one is just not. And it's got great graphics, especially for the time period. I mean, from a retro standpoint, they hold up pretty darn well today. And it's it's fun. It actually has kind of a story to it. It doesn't feel, super NES impossible hard. But yeah, I mean, Ghostbusters on Master System, man. Sometimes Sega just did what Nintendo don't.
Yeah, that's a good line there. And I'm glad you did. We got some new folks in the chat. Hello to all of you guys. Some of y'all are over on the other channel. Welcome, and we appreciate you. So this is a great game. It's on my honorable mentions today, so that's off. We're taking that off as a Benjamin. Ghostbusters is definitely there. And like you said, the Nintendo version was trash, and it's widely considered, right next to E.T., with some of the worst games ever, and there's a few others we could probably mention here soon, but definitely the Master System's fun. I had a friend that the only kid in the whole neighborhood that had a Master System as a kid had this game, and I remember kind of going over and playing. You got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man you're trying to get. Now, dude, it was pretty fun stuff, man. So I'm glad this is here, but I lose an honorable mention. Mysticles is in the house. Man, there he is. Good seeing Mysticles. He joined us a couple of months back. Love following his stream. Guys, go follow Mysticles and everybody else in the chat. If you have a channel, be sure to share it if you'd like. Most of you have wrenches already, and if you don't, you'll get one. So let's talk about Ghostbusters. Hey, Ross, what you got? You like this one?
I actually prefer the, I believe it was the 360, or it might have been the Xbox One that came out with a newer one that was really good. And
it was really good.
I think it was based off the Gears of War engine too, if I remember correctly.
It plays like it.
It plays like it at least. But yeah, those first two are really bad. Like, well, I think the second Ghostbusters on the NES is significantly better than the first, but you know, for a long time, everybody knew stay far away from that first because it's like an Atari game on the NES. So,
and plays worse.
No shade at Atari, but yeah, that's my feeling on Ghostbusters.
I have not played it. Sega Master System. I have no recollection, but I will say I love Ghostbusters. So, I'll
gonna call?
If you say those words, who are you going to call? Like just in whatever, and you don't say Ghostbusters immediately after, even if that's not the context, it's never the context. But if you don't, I question it. So
it means you're just not from the coolest of generations. That's what it is.
I guess that's probably it. That's probably what it is.
So we had this one here, and maybe he missed the beginning, and he's talking about TV. I'm just kind of looking back. If you bend the rules, The Sopranos is a pretty good one. I'm assuming because it's TV. So we have bent the rules, and we are saying movies and TV. So movies and TV are available. I don't know any other reason it wouldn't be because Sopranos would have been first, and that was a game. So that's a pretty good choice. Poetically Christian Gamer, thanks for being here. I didn't say hello out loud, but I do love that you're here and you had a Master System. Cool. So Andy, you're up, man.
Yep. It is my turn now, and man, for mine, I didn't overthink it. I mean, what were the games that I really enjoyed playing that were because of a movie? I mean, that's it. I love the movie, and or TV show, and I love the game. It's the two things. We don't have to overcomplicate things. And for my first one, I am going to go with my Rosie. This is a very fun racing game, believe it or not. Oh. But it's not racing like we would think it would be racing. I'm going with N64's Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. This game is a blast. I love this game. I think it's a fantastic game. The fact that, you know, it's almost like that was like the F-Zero kind of games where it's just like this spacey type that, you know, we're used to racing in a traditional sense. But, you know, being a part of like the coolest part of Episode 1 for me, outside of like Darth Maul, although I wish Darth Maul was in much more of the movie, and you know, the whole Qui-Gon thing, the whole pod racing thing was just so unique. It was cool to see that happen. And then you get a game based on all of that. You know, you get the characters from it. The worlds look really cool, right? Obviously, because it's not just some racetrack. You're on another planet and stuff. It is a super, super, super fun game. You get the voices from all the, you know, which is why my little subtitle is "It's Working," which is from that game. So I don't know if anybody would have caught that, but that's what it's from. But yeah, I love this game, man. I loved Star Wars Episode 1. I know that, you know, people hate on Hayden Christensen, or did for a while, and I mean, not Hayden Christensen was later, but people hated on golly, I'm blanking on the actor, the kid that played Anakin. Anyway, the whole Jar Jar Binks thing, you know, there's things to not like about the movie. I remember this movie specifically because when episode 1 came out, they re-released episodes 4, 5, and 6 in theaters leading up to it. And that was kind of my introduction to Star Wars, was watching 4, 5, 6 in theaters with my dad and then going to see episode 1. I had a 7-foot tall, wish I still had it. It's one of my big regrets. We had a 7-foot tall, essentially sculpture statue of Jar Jar Binks that we won from a local grocery store. That was just amazing. I wish I still had that. But yeah, episode 1, Racer, the video game, tons of fun, great movie. That's my review.
So I'm looking around the room trying to find where Jar Jar is. Cannon must have taken him out.
Jar Jar rules, man.
I have a Jar Jar Binks mask that is
Yeah.
pretty famous at our campground because we always wear it and bring it. But I did peg for this one. Look, I wore the shirt just for you. And I knew.
I think. Let me say this. I think you could peg all 4 of mine easily. I think you know exactly what they are.
Okay. Jar Jar
There's
is your
one-
shortest Sith Lords, and we've talked about this in Siths. So yeah. If you're a Star Wars guy, that's kind of a fun thing to chat about, is just the behind the scenes lore. Real quick before they go to bed, Genesis, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Mary is in the chat. Mary, thanks for being here. Both Mary and Genesis are students of mine at the school I teach. Yeah,
They all get
Star
A's
Wars
now.
has a ton of games we could even chat about. You guys like Star Wars Pod Racer, and you might have some other Star Wars later.
Man, that pod racer just sound effect is so iconic. I love that sound.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Dang,
Oh, yeah,
who's
yeah, yeah.
driving
This is a
Mercury
good
Cougars
point.
on the
That's
road?
So, how do you say that? Akaken? Akaken? I don't know.
It's Akakan. Yeah, he's from my squad.
Yeah, so he says ET can be seen in the background. Yeah, which kind of puts ET, Indiana Jones, and Star Wars all in the same world because they all have that kind of weird. But yeah, it's a good pick. Good pick, man. B. Ross, have you played this?
You know, actually, I haven't. And what's funny about this game in particular is on our community wheel that we pull the games from, this game has the most submissions, and it never gets picked. I think it has by far the most submissions. Somebody,
Dude,
How do I
Yeah.
add 30 more of those submissions? Can I do that? For you? Really want the wheel. I got a
Hey,
heavy weight.
speaking
this
of that, I totally blanked on this, just kind of rolling through this. We should have had your guest hosts on as well. So the next time you come on, B. Ross, let's get those guys on with us. So
oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Look, we're all about supporting other people in the chats and all. I mean, in the other communities. So
There you go. On the
Get it on
Switch. Nice.
Switch. Some
I didn't know it was on the
quality
Switch.
improvements.
Oh,
It's a limited run game, so get ready
Which
to
means
pay
I'll never own a
for no
copy.
reason. But
it's too expensive.
yeah, limited run is yeah.
words.
They've got kind of that kind of the corner of the market with some of the stuff they're doing, and every
It's
time
fine.
I
They
see
don't
them
sponsor
at
me. I'll say
convention, I'm like, oh, this looks fun. Not for that price. So yeah.
I only own one limited run game, so
Look,
I
the only way
stopped
I'll
buying
get
from
one
them
is
when
if
it took
somebody
2
gives
years to get a delivery.
it at this
2
point.
years.
So, all right, good picks all around. So it's my turn. So,
Yep.
hey, Andy, kind of like you, and if you've been around us long enough, Andy is a '90s kid. I'm an '80s kid. So, both of us usually talk our nostalgia. I usually land in the first generation systems. Andy's usually in like the second, third-ish generation of systems. And when you talk about video games, movies, music, whatever, it's 80s, 90s, 80s, 90s, 80s, 90s, and a little bit on the fringes in the 2000s and 70s. So that's kind of where I'm going to live today, is a lot of my childhood and what was, did I like the movie? Did I like the show? Is probably a big deal, enough that I wanted to play the game. And then when I played the game, is it nostalgic enough that I wanted to keep playing it? So, like, is there some replayability? All my games today have a lot of replayability. I don't have 2 of them, but I have 2 of them here. And so my first one, which which I think might be. We mentioned this in arcade games not long back, and I did mention that I don't like adult cartoons on purpose, but I'm definitely coming out with the Simpsons arcade game for
Oh.
number 4,
That's
which
good.
is just a phenomenal 4-player just deal, swinging the vacuum cleaner in the skateboard and all that. I'm going with the arcade version. I know there's a Nintendo version and a couple other things, but I'm going to go with the arcade 4-player box arcade unit. Just a fun game. I remember dumping quarters into this. Back then, everybody loved The Simpsons, out of all of the adult cartoons, this is the one that has the most nostalgia for me. It's the best one of all time, with no question. And it was probably the most fun game that was in our particular arcade at the time. A lot of dumping of quarters, and I love playing with all 4 characters and kind of working through that. So I'm gonna go my Rosie. I'm gonna go with the Simpsons arcade game. To start off hot, man. That's a good game too.
Kurt, you mean this one right here?
Yeah, I noticed that while you were pointing, but
Oh,
actually I
let's do
noticed
that.
it when we went to your main thing. I was like, oh,
Wow.
there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Love it.
And so I would almost be offended if it's not on your 3 list coming up soon, Chris, because I mean it's that good. It is that good. I just got my copy of Shantae for Game Boy Advance from Limited Run that I ordered a little over a year ago. Everybody, Kevin's collection looks a lot like Chris's, but he doesn't put it on TV. Yeah, Chris.
He's a chain. He needs to be out there. We say it every time.
His own channel. We've talked about it enough. He knows more about video games than anybody I've ever met. So you ordered it over a year ago, huh, Kev? That's crazy. It's a good company. I mean, a lot of the games are really cool. I love watching the videos on them. I just don't know that I'm just not at a place in my life where that's something I'd rather like kind of just dump my money somewhere else, I guess.
The only thing that's really excited me from them lately is, did you see the Doom release?
Mhm.
Where even the box plays Doom? That's pretty freaking
That's
cool.
so funny.
What they're doing is epic. It's very epic, but it's kind of cool. It's a whole lot for the really big collectors to me. You know, it's just like, if you ever got a really big collection, this is your thing. But yeah, just one off of them. I don't see it happening too many times for me. But Simpsons arcade game. You obviously have the cabinet, so go first, Chris. Why do you have the cabinet in the background?
Because I don't hoard video games. That's why we talked about this.
It's on the inventory.
When I still lived in California, I was starting to do arcade restorations. Started with a Street Fighter II Champion, then moved on to the Donkey Kong Jr. right here. And then I did a bunch of other ones. And my local game store owner, he hit me up because he knew I did like console restorations. He's like, bro, I'm like hella low on stock on a bunch of stuff right now. Do you happen to have any of these consoles? And it's like, why, yes, I do have a massive pile of junk I need to get rid of. And he's like, well, I got something you may be interested in. And I was like, okay, what? And he's like, I got a Simpsons arcade machine. I was like, you want to trade for that? I'm like, okay. He's like, don't get excited. It's not in good shape. So went and checked it out. It was missing, like, it had the control panel on it. It didn't have the box that the control panel goes on. So that was fun to figure out the measurements for that. But took it home, got it completely gutted and laid out on my floor. And I did a restoration video on it so you could see that part. And it's like the first time it turns on, I'm just like, oh, okay, yes, I can work with this now. And I then got the whole thing like fully restored, redone. And then now I have it. And I was going to sell it to Dan, the guy who runs Midwest Gaming Classic. But he ended up buying one of my other ones, which he was just like, secretly, this is like actually my favorite arcade. And I was like, really? This is okay. It was a Make Tracks. It's like a Pac-Man clone, basically. And it's like, I mean, it was a cool game, but whatever. So he bought that instead. And after that show, it was MGC 2 years ago. I was just like, all right, I'll bring it to the show. If somebody buys it there, cool. If they don't, it's coming down here into the game room and it's not moving again. And as you can see, it didn't sell. So there we have it. And I wired up a free play because, as was mentioned, it was a quarter muncher. And I don't want to do that. I paid enough to restore it. I don't need to pay more to play it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Fun fact: there is not an original version of The Simpsons Arcade that had a free play ROM. If you get one and it has a free play option in its options menu, you know, the lists that Andy likes, then it means it is somebody went in and they edited the ROM to add a free play option. So the only way to do it, thanks to my buddy Thor, he's got a channel, Hey It's Thor, and he's like, well, here, if you just like take this button and bridge the coin connection on it so that every time you press it, it's like it's doing adding a coin, then that's your free play. I was like, sweet. So I did that, mounted it up. So every time I turned it on, I just go like button, give myself a bunch of credits, and then go play the game.
Wow, that's fun. I got to do that. I need that in my life. So
curious, Chris, what is the retail on that thing now that you've restored it? What is the value to you?
It is in its current state, it goes for about $4,500.
I don't need that in my life. Never mind.
You can buy the super crappy Arcade 1-Up version. Just remember, you can pick up an Arcade 1-Up machine with one hand.
Yeah.
You can't do that with this.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Ever.
There was a time in my life where I wanted. So when I was stationed in New Mexico, there was a guy that was there. He had an arcade cabinet. It was the first time I had ever seen an arcade cabinet at someone's house. I was probably about 20 at the time, and it was Rastan. And we played the heck out of that game. The old Conan kind of thing. And I wanted a game so bad. And back then, you could have picked one up probably about $700 for most of the
That's an average price, yeah.
Most of the ones that were there. And then I remember, I guess it was probably about 10 years ago. I'm like, man, I'm going to add one. I'm going to finally get one. Before the 1-Up cabinets and all that. And I'm like, man, all these cabinets are like almost $2,000 now. I am not spending $2,000 plus. And because back then I really wanted a Golden Tee. That was what I really wanted, was a Golden Tee arcade version with the trackball. And I was like, man, I am not spending that kind of money. But maybe it's in the cards in the future. So
what I will say is that you need to find one that's beat up. Then you put the work into it. Like this one, I got it in trade for a stack of Genesis Model 2s and a couple of NESs that I had restored. So, I mean, the equivalent, like at retail, I don't know, $500. But for me, it was nothing. They were just sitting there collecting dust, so I didn't care. And I went like full resto on it, and like new coin boxes, everything. And I think I put in about $800 doing a full restoration. But yeah, I mean, your average arcade machine, you can get them for dirt cheap. I used to have, it was like 9 or 10 arcade machines, and the majority of them were either free because they were in such rough shape, or there was 3 different ones that I got for $50 at like a local, it was a place called the Last Chance Mercantile. So it was at the local city dump, but it was like when stuff was good enough that it could be resold, and they did it for like charity and stuff like that. So I got a full 2-player Time Crisis 3 for $50. I got a Nicktoons Racing for $50, and there was one other one. I want to say it was like Shinobi or something like that for $50.
What?
Nice.
Yeah, the
Time
Time
Crisis
Crisis,
is
I think it
a
cost
game,
me
man.
about another $100 in screws that it was missing, and it was fully working. And I sold that thing for, I don't know, $1,500.
Wow.
Hey, Derek, Poetically Christian Gamer, say it again, man. Christina's amazing. She's in everybody's chat. If she shows up in your chat, guys, she'll help moderate. She'll help put links in if you need her to. She's so amazing. You always want to see a good showing a Christina showing up in your chat. That is a great thing. Hey, so we've
Should
done
pay
first
attention
round.
to my chat.
Yeah.
Private Infidel just told me to hydrate 11 minutes ago. Here.
Red Bull.
So
Gives you wings.
you're up again now. We're starting over. This is round 2. TJ, Jazzy Jeff, Thomas Jefferson. You don't need to give criteria anymore. Just what's your number 3 on the mountain? We're building our way up the summit.
Wait, so we're not snaking
you're
back?
up, you're up.
No,
Oh,
we
okay.
snake back in the Benjamins.
Gotcha,
now we're
Yeah,
gotcha.
in
we snake only in the Benjamins. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Well, I think it's time probably to throw in a movie-based game. Well, at least
Yeah.
from my end. So, I'm gonna hot take here, and it's gonna upset a lot of people, and it has every time I bring it up.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of Lord of the Rings. Watched all of them when they came out in theaters with my friends, midnight release. Found them to be boring. I never was really into the literature, so I know people. I'm one of the few people that have ever said that, and people think it's heresy. But I will state though, if we're talking about a game based off a movie, Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers on PlayStation 2 is very, very solid, and just like South Park, a perfect, transfer from film to game. And for me, I found it more enjoyable than watching the movie. But it's well made. It's super fun. Also, it was between that or Return of the King, but I think I'm gonna have to go with The Two Towers on PlayStation 2. It's extremely well done, even for the source material that I don't really care for. So I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
Another RPG. So
no, it's not.
this one's not an RPG.
It's
No,
more
it's like a-
Andy,
Action.
it's more kind of Golden Axe-ish. It's action. It's kind of a little
Okay.
better than that, but for something that you might know, it's
Google
kinda like
just
that
said
adventure
role-playing
action.
video game as a genre.
You'd
So
like it. You'd like it, Andy. This is on my Benjamins. This is another one of my Benjamins. I've already lost 2 of my short list. This is a great pick. PlayStation 2, if anybody knows, is my number 1 system. I got a lot of PS2. That's what my collection is. When we go to the conventions, I'm always looking for PS2 games. I don't have this game. I used to have it. This is one that I'm always kind of looking for to get for the right price. But I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Huge. I love epic fantasy just in general. One of the main reasons I like RPGs. I'm actually writing an epic fantasy book right now. And it's not, obviously, I'm not Tolkien, but I do, glean off of some inspiration from some of the things that he's done. Man, I can understand why anybody wouldn't like that if that's not your thing, but I absolutely love it, and I enjoyed the games equally. So, good pick. Good pick.
yeah,
I
I've not
respect
played
it. I mean, I absolutely respect the source. Like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Movies. I don't know. I'll try them again.
Well, I mean,
My wife hates. My wife hates it. I don't like it.
there's plenty of things that people say, and I'm like, yeah, I don't get it. But I am also very easily entertained. So that it could be that too. Andy, so you said you obviously have never played this if you thought it was an RPG.
Well,
but
Google
you're
told me it was an
a
RPG.
fan.
That's what Google says. So blame it on Google.
Well, yeah, it has RPG elements, but it's not. It's kind of like Zelda's not an RPG, but we'll argue that till the end of the
But
day.
I put it on my RPGs, so
I
there
know.
you go.
I
I like Lord of the Rings. I will say, I like the movies. I'm not mega fan.
Hey, Jay's in the house.
You know.
Square pegs. Love having you, man. We're gonna have Jay back on in September 20-something. We're gonna do sports, and he's a sports fan as well. And I think we're doing logos, Andy. I think we're doing the best sports logos of all time.
That'd be fun.
If you guys like sports and you want to jump in with Jay, you're welcome. Yeah. So welcome back, Jay. Good seeing you, man. Man, John Riggs is in the house. What's up, John? John was actually, listen, hey, John. John was actually one of the very first creators ever, right, Andy, that we invited to be on the show, and he almost made it. Something didn't work out. We wanted to have him, and it didn't work. It didn't pan out. But I think back then he didn't have a bazillion subscribers. I think he was more like 40 or 50. But hey, it is what it is. What. Welcome to the show, John. Thank you for being here. And Bryce is in the house. Bryce, did you bring the trolls? Did you bring him along with you? Bryce is in the
man, I
house.
love
Everybody say hello
trolls.
to Bryce. Share
Bryce.
your channels in the chat, guys. We totally appreciate you being here. So, Chris, do you like Lord of the Rings? Do you like the material? Do you like the game?
Oh, I definitely don't like the material at all. I definitely don't have the extended edition Blu-ray set. Definitely not. No, I do like the material. I mean, and I specifically told him I was going to be shouting him out. So, I mean, my best friend is a member of the Shire. He is a Hobbit himself. Hi, Jay. And it's always a running joke. He is the Frodo to my Gandalf. But yes, I do enjoy the Lord of the Rings movies. My wife will never watch them with me. I think she fell asleep in record time when Fellowship was first put on. And if you've seen the regular movies, you know those movies are long. Those are long movies. If you've ever seen the extended Blu-ray, those are long movies. This is like a solid 11, 12 hours of movie with the extended cuts. And it's not just more walking. Okay, Clerks. It's not just walking. But yes, I do like them. I very much enjoy the games. Two Towers is a fantastic game. It's not on my list, but it's a fantastic game, and I've had a lot of fun with a lot of the Lord of the Rings games. There's what were the ones that came out? It was several years ago now, but it was like, I can't remember the name of it. It was the one where I don't believe you were playing as like any of the main like lore characters, but you could like go into like this like ghost mode kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember the name of it, but I remember playing that and I was like, this is amazing. It was super fun. I can't for the life of me remember.
It was a Shadow of Middle Earth or
Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor.
There we go.
Peg's got
That's what it was. Yes. Yes, those were really good games.
They're really good games. They're really good.
And yeah, I mean, yes, I do like the material. I do enjoy the Shire folk very much, and yeah, excellent games.
So, Chris, I am right there with you. My wife will not watch this stuff with me. This is my own person. I've got to be on my own time. They're all in bed, and this is my show. That what I'm doing. Hey, Girl Dad's in the house. What did he say?
Maybe that's why I like Moana so much.
Yeah.
Think about
It's
it.
easily my favorite Disney movie.
Think about it.
love
It's
Moana.
essentially Lord of the Rings.
Hey, let me just chat with the chat a little bit. John,
It is.
hey, the offer still stands. We'd love to still have you. I know we never made it happen, but thanks for being here. We give out wrenches to everybody, so you're now a standard moderator, which is an accomplishment for us, as well as Jay being a moderator and all the guys that are in the chat. Ferris wheel. You're right. You went the wrong direction with the Fallout. That is awesome. We've already done that show where games that became movies, but now it's movies that became games. And Spider-Man 2 is a great pick. It might get mentioned later. So let's chat it up about that.
Is that Joey Ferris?
It's Ferris Wheel Pro.
Ferris Wheel Pro, but I'm looking at the avatar. Is that Joey Ferris? He's the only Ferris I know. And if that's
I know
Joey Ferris,
Ferris
Joey Ferris
Bueller.
is an awesome guy.
Bueller.
Yeah, John, absolutely. If time allows, we'd love to make it happen. And also, John, if you ever make it down to Louisiana RetroCon, which I know you were invited, you'll be hanging out with us. So, because I know Davey reached out to you. But yeah, that would be cool too. All right, who's
We
up?
are now to Game Dev. Yes, Chris.
Game Dev. Hang on.
We're up to you. Your TJ
Where's my
Jazzy
list?
Jeff, next on your list. What you got?
My number 3, one of the best cartoons from when I was a kid. Loved it. The modern day movie I thought was not that good. A lot of people liked it. I was just kind of like meh. But that would be Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. That
Nice.
game is awesome.
Let's go. Great pick. Look, great
I
pick.
absolutely love that game. It's super fun, and I remember when I was a kid, it was just like, yeah, I get to play this now. This is so awesome, and I just got my butt just handed to me. When I was a kid, that game was just not user friendly and not I can play video games friendly. But when I started picking up collecting again, that's whenever I was like, oh yeah, I remember Chip 'n Dale. I had rose-colored glasses, and I had missed all of the. I had forgotten all of the bad memories. I blocked them out about me not being able to beat it, and I was like, oh, okay, I remember this game was hard. Okay, but then I sat down and grinded through it, and I was able to beat the game within a couple of hours. And I was like, oh, I've never seen this much of this game before, and it was awesome. And
Yeah.
I wish Yonoid
So,
was a
real
TV
quick,
show.
let
I
me
just want to
just
say
address
Yonoid was
something real
awesome.
quick before we get going. Hey, Bryce, I was literally just playing because before the chat, we were talking about when we get trolls sometimes, and I said sometimes some friends like Bryce come in and some guys come and want to argue with that, and it was more of a joke. I know you don't bring trolls, Brood. We love you. We love you. We love you. Love you. Love you. No harm. But Lil Timmy's in the house, which is also another one of my students. He's our favorite moderator. Lil Timmy in the house. Farhan, welcome here. Yeah, Bryce, just playing. So Rescue Rangers, hard game. Love it. If you looked at the IG post, the Instagram post, this was the music I used, was Rescue Rangers. But fantastic game. Had a feeling it was going to be mentioned today. I am a huge fan of this cartoon. This is one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. And with that being said, Jay mentioned it in the chat. The new movie was surprisingly amazing.
I loved it.
It didn't
I
really
loved
capture
it.
me.
Yeah, it was. I absolutely loved it. So I
love
really
the
loved
play on Ugly Sonic in the movie too.
Oh,
I love
That was
that.
hilarious.
That's
That was
in
so
there.
good.
I just
Yeah.
love because it was a new take. I mean, like you could have just done like an Alvin and Chipmunks type thing. They were like, you know what, we're gonna do a little something different, and I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
I like the mixed animations.
I
I
gotta
didn't
say,
know this.
what's that?
I didn't know there was a new Rescue Rangers movie.
Yeah, it came out a few years ago.
I
Yeah,
had no
so
idea.
there's
It's live action.
Chip and
Oh,
Dale. One
okay.
looks more live action, one looks more cartoony because you'll have to see it. But it's
I
live
watch it
action.
with my kids. I love that series.
It's
so.
kind of like Sonic, if you will. Like there's
Okay.
characters in and characters. Yeah. Live
Sonic
action.
was way better.
Sonic was way better, but I still love this. Yeah.
And I gotta ask, your student in there, Timmy, is he a South Park fan? I just see the way that's spelled. That doesn't read Timmy. That reads Timmy.
Yeah.
we
Well,
like South
that
Park.
is, if I remember correctly, Farhan, that's from a meme, right?
Yeah, Timmy.
Yeah. I think it's from a meme. I would doubt he might be. He's kind of like that, but he might be. Farhan's fun. Yeah, my school that I teach at is very international, so a lot of the kids that are in my school are see, he didn't watch South Park. What's Timmy from, Farhan? What's it from? It's a meme, right? I might be wrong, but they're very international. So like Middle Eastern, yeah, there's a lot of Middle Eastern folks. So I know when we going to get to new live action Parasite Eve movie, that would be cool. That would be really cool.
Oh,
Reason why I'm Little Timmy is because of Roblox. Oh, it's from Roblox. So the Avatar. So there you go.
shout out to
I refuse
Roblox.
to acknowledge Roblox's existence.
Well, when we had overrated games, we were talking overrated games. I think it was actually with Jay. That was at the topic, overrated? No, he was
I was
underrated.
gonna say, is that the number one most overrated game?
It was on there for me.
Or Fortnite?
Yeah, that was one of them for me.
It was
too.
also on.
My son's
All
about
right,
to flame
so-
the chat.
This is a great pick, man. I love Rescue Rangers. Andy, you like Rescue Rangers, the game?
I love this. So two things about this. Number one, A couple years ago, I got somebody hacked into my Amazon account somehow, added their own card to it, and sent me a like this all-in-one video game system that has just all of these like Japanese like games that nobody knows. It's got like 500 games in it, but there's a few like actual games in it, and Chippendale Rescue Rangers is in this. So I love this game. I was also going to mention the new movie because I love the movie. I love the mixed animation. We've talked about all that, like all the CGI, but also the 2D and everything else that's in it. I thought it was fun. But yeah, this is a great game. This is a really, really good game. You took a Benjamin away from me. So this is my first Benjamin that got eliminated, taken off the board. I got plenty of other ones, but yeah, it's fun.
It's a good pick.
Yeah,
So,
loves it.
all right, so Andy, you're up.
It's me now. All right. So for my next one, I mean, again, Kirk, I told you earlier that you can pick all of mine. You know exactly where I'm going with my list. It's no surprise to you. Also, all of these games I've mentioned in previous episodes for whatever reason, and because they're just some of my favorite games, and I just have to do it. You might be surprised that it's not my number one, but I'm going Simpsons Arcade.
Really?
This game, I shared it when we talked about arcade games. When we talked about, I don't know, I've shared it for multiple different ones. And this game, I remember, I think Derek earlier said it, at the skating rink. This was one of those games that was there. It was at the bowling alley. And I remember going to the bowling alley as a kid with my family and not bowling, going to the skating rink and not skating because I was just pumping quarters into the Simpsons arcade game. This was my favorite arcade game growing up. It is still it's a great, great, great game. I love that the fact that, obviously it's Simpsons, so it's animated and they just play up all the characters. How each character has an individual weapon and a thing, is really cool. I was always Bart, but I do think Marge is great to play with, like you said, with the vacuum cleaner. It's really cool. I love the different types of levels. The animation in it, everything is super fun. But everything that you said about it already. This game is just fun. It was, again, we didn't have back in the day the cheat code to add have unlimited credits by pressing a button. But I often think, and I share this every time, how much of my parents' money was wasted because it wasn't my quarters. I was a kid, right? I wasn't getting them. How much of that was wasted in these games? Not just Simpsons Arcade, but we talk about so many different arcade games out there. But this was definitely the one that was the go-to for me. Simpsons arcade game, and I love The Simpsons. Right? I've always, that was kind of my big show back in the day that I would watch with my dad. Because it is an adult cartoon for sure, but I think it's some of the adult cartoons now I find are. Like The Simpsons was a good mix of adult and kids can enjoy it. I think there were some jokes that were probably too smart and too over the head, but some adult cartoons now, it's like, man, I'm not letting my kids watch this stuff. So, but yeah, Simpsons arcade game, got to go there. And
Hey,
I had
one
to
of my
crush more.
favorite things that I didn't mention in mine, I had kind of figured you were going to pick it, was when Marge gets shocked and
Yeah.
her skull.
Her skeleton goes into her hair.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. This is just a fun game, man. I love how many characters are in the background that you kind of interact with. The final levels are really cool, and if you can make it that far. But the final levels are really awesome. I actually made it on this system now that I have it as a it's just modded or whatever, and we did it, and it was all. Andy, you were here when we did it, weren't? Did we and you do it? Maybe.
No, I don't think.
I played it with somebody else. Yeah, and we ended up beating it on this, and I was like, man.
No, when I was there, we didn't play Simpsons Arcade. We played Nickelodeon Global Guts,
which is horrible.
One of the worst games of all time.
The worst games ever.
Another fun fact about the Simpsons machine that might make you want to get it more. It has the perfect control layout. All you have to do is just unplug the cable harness and plug in the new board. It works for the 4-player X-Men arcade as well as TMNT arcade.
Nice.
So you can have 3 legit arcades in one. You just mount the boards and move the harness over.
Huh.
Man,
You're talking me into this, man. I got plenty of room, right?
that would then
Right
make
here,
it
looking at it.
$10,000 game. Yeah. That would be awesome. That would be absolutely cool. Well, we
It's
already
just
chatted
money.
about we already really chatted about this one. I subscribed to Nightbot. That's awesome. So Crunch has got his name because of Roblox too. I saw that mentioned. Are you even watching the messages? Is what he wants to know.
Oh, I see his messages.
He's not even seeing my messages. Yeah, he sees them.
I see
So
him.
Smash TV was another arcade game that just devoured quarters. Yeah, I was thinking, you know what was one of my favorite sounds as a kid? Putting that like $5, $10, $20 bill in the quarter machine and hearing the I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Hey, and speaking of that, I needed to put a $10 bill or $20 bill in for my next one. Because we've already chatted up Simpsons. So let's move to my TJ Jazzy Jeff. And it's another arcade game. And the only reason this one is ahead of the last one is because the last one, for me, I played a lot at the mall. This one I played a ton at the bowling alley, and I spent more time at the bowling alley than I did at the mall. Now, Andy, the bowling alley you're talking about wasn't the same bowling alley I'm talking about, because you didn't really get raised in Lido, right? So
Yeah.
the bowling alley that I'm thinking of had a rendition of Terminator 2, and it was
Hmm.
a T2 game with the gun. And oh my goodness, I couldn't get enough of this game. Kind of Lethal Enforcers Time Crisis type game, but you had the big weapon. I just dumped money in this game. You're fighting on obviously John Connor or whatever. You're fighting all of the Terminators coming at you, and I remember as a kid dumping quarters, and I got really close to beating this. I remember having like a little bit of a crowd as a kid. My sister worked there. My dad bowled he bowled a ton. My mom bowled. My sister's husband bowled. We were always at the bowling alley, and I remember kind of like that was kind of a second home a little time on like a Thursday night often. And I just played a ton of T2, man. T2 is going to be my TJ Jazzy Jeff, my number 2 on the mountain. 3 on the mountain, 2 in the conversation today.
Solid game.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with
Solid
that.
game everywhere. That game was everywhere when it came
Oh,
out.
it was so good. It was. I mean,
It's so loud and
especially
flashy.
then,
And like,
and I remember, just.
yeah.
I mean, just. Yeah, so much fun.
It's-
And it was those games. So this is what I love about the arcade, especially if you go to the same arcade often enough and you see the same kids. There was nothing better than playing an arcade game with your buddies compared to sitting on your living room playing with a controller. Like when y'all are just button mashing and you're sitting there with the gun and put another quarter in here, use my quarters, and like boom, hurry up, run and go and get $5 more. And like all of just like the memories of that, and then having kids sitting on top of the pool table watching, and just all the stuff that we did, it was a big part of the memory. So I'm going T2. Actually, when the topic was brought up, this is the very first one that popped in my mind, and then all the rest kind of trickled in, figuring it out.
I want to shout out Yoda's Blessed Life in the house. He just gave us his top 4: Indiana Jones, Rambo, Terminator, RoboCop. That's a
All epic,
Rambo.
all epic games. That Rambo game was something interesting. The system of moving up and down. It's kind of a Metroidvania before it was Metroidvania. So that's a fun game. I mean, it wasn't fun to play, but it's definitely nostalgic. T2, Chris, you got that arcade cabinet back there too?
No, I don't have T2. And my parents my mom was not a fan of me watching and being involved in Terminator stuff. My dad didn't care because he wanted to watch it. So yeah, I still remember. I think I want to say I was like 7 maybe, and he let me watch RoboCop. That did not end well for him. But yeah, I mean, fun game. It's always one of those ones where.
Wait, pause. Time out. Sorry, Chris. Look who's in the chat, Andy.
Andrew Weathers. That like
Tron.
A1 since day one.
Day one since day one. Our very first real a subscriber right here. Dude, the most epic comments back in the day. His daughter plays on my daughter's high school team. And he hadn't been around in a while, but oh my gosh, it's so good to see you in the chat, Andrew. I know this makes me sound old. You are old. I mean, Andrew, you're around my age. So quarter dumping game for me is nostalgic. Was Tron? Absolutely.
Tron is fantastic.
Absolutely. So man, Andrew, it is exciting to see you in the chat, man. Thanks for being here, man. You know what? It's been so long. I bet you Andrew's not a moderator. No, he's not, and now he is. That's awesome. All right. So, well, anyways, finish your statement. I'm sorry, Chris. I just want to make sure I said something before Andrew ran away.
How dare you? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's one of those where I was never big into playing the arcade, but like if I'm at a convention or there's a free play arcade or something like that, I will always stop and play the game just because it's fun. But it was never one that I like sought out in arcades or anything like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
So,
recognize it for what it is. It just wasn't something that I did.
totally cool. I mean, that's the hints of the whole show and the community is that everybody has their own little branch of life and how they got here. Well, B. Ross, you mentioned that you said it was epic. Andy, did you play this?
Oh yeah. This is a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, any of the arcade cabinets where you have like the actual gun is just it's really cool. In fact, I just went. We just had a conference for ministry conference anyway recently, or this earlier this week, and the place that we were staying had a little mini arcade in it, and it wasn't T2 in there, but it was like some weird knockoff. I don't even remember the name of it, but it was an arcade cabinet with 2 guns, and it was like, I mean, I'm going to play this. Like it's the one, it's fun. So yeah, but T2 absolutely great game for sure.
Well, that leads us into our halftime. So real quick, if you're new here, this is our opportunity just to share kind of some of the things that are on our heart. One thing that's on our heart really big, and Andy, don't we have a commercial for this weekend? But
I did, but it gave us a copyright ding because of the music that they used in.
The song on it is copyrighted. But this weekend in New Orleans, or in the New Orleans area, down in South Louisiana, in Mandeville, Louisiana, our favorite guys, St. Tammany Collectors Con is happening. And if you know us, Andy and I are both youth pastors at heart. We're both coaches, dads, the whole 9 yards. But one of our biggest deals is that we're youth ministers. And the amazing thing is we get to go to these conventions, hang out with the people indoors, shake hands, high five, take pictures, talk with guys like Darth Vader and Sergeant Slaughter and John Riggs. I talked to John Riggs when we were at Siege. And Jay, I talked at Siege. But you get to talk to all these YouTubers and whatever. But one of our favorite things when we're a part of these is that they allow us to preach a nerdy message in the convention. We have now 4 conventions that we're a part of and a couple that have offered opportunities. We would love to be able to do some more, but our next one is this weekend. And it's going to be a blast. Come out to Mandeville, Louisiana, Castine Center, Saturday, Sunday, 2 big events. Our friend Ben Robert has put this show on now for like 10 years or more. And it's just a great time. Over 100 vendors, and we'll be preaching. at the convention. Man, I'm driving all the way from Georgia for the Sunday show to drive all the way back to get back to school on Monday. So just to put down a message, I can't wait to go, and I just love the convention. So that's that. So that we call it Reboot, which is down there by Chris, Game Dad. That is our Reboot logo. Reboot, the unconventional ministry. If you know anything about Christian ministry, we consider you have to convert and change your life and give your life back to Christ. And it's kind of a play on words with video games and geekiness. And we preach nerdy messages. So the last one that we were at, we had Darth Vader, and I preached on Darth Vader. And the one before that was Sonic the Hedgehog, and I preached on Sonic the Hedgehog. So it's going to be a fun time. So we're also a part of an amazing group of creators that's above Andy over there, and called the Culture Box. It's about 6 creators. All of them are Christian. They all do nerdy things. And whenever we find people at the conventions that like things like anime, like things like Dungeons and Dragons, we have people we can connect them to with these guys in Culture Box. Just a few weeks ago, we were on Geek Devotion Show doing our top 4 anime with him and his wife. And we've been on Retro Rewind podcast, which was a few weeks ago. Now it's almost like 2-3 months ago now, but we did The Fugitive. They review movies that are 15 years or older. And if you might like a whole bunch of people in Culture Box. So Andy, what commercial do you want to show them this week about our friends over at Culture Box?
Hey, let's check out our friends Francisco and Paul J. Powers at the Retro Rewind Pod.
Absolutely.
Every other week, join the Retro Rewind Pod as they travel back 15 or more years along the entertainment space-time continuum in their mission to review movies and games, establishing what is still worth your time today. Expect fun banter and trivial insights from Francisco, Paul, and rotating guest hosts who are all out of time.
There we go.
Man,
Go check them out.
when
Let
I
them know the
think
Rushmore
about
Show sent you.
watching a good movie, a good weekend. I mean, I got to get the caffeine up, man. And one of my favorite ways to get caffeine up is coffee. Andy, who's our favorite coffee distributor?
Our absolute favorite coffee and the official coffee of the Rushmore Show is Village Coffee. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Let's face it, at-home coffee can be pretty stale. Coffee at home doesn't have to be boring. The Village Coffee is here to deliver the flavor. The Village Coffee roasts coffee every week and sells online. Go to villagebeans.com to order your coffee today and use discount code RUSHMORE for free shipping.
There you go. You want to
Here's
order
a
it?
fun
He's doing
fact. You
some.
don't get anything if you use Rushmore. We're just supporting a good friend of ours. So
Yeah, we get none of it. You actually get all of the benefits for using
You get all of it.
We get nothing.
You
We
get
get
all of
nothing.
it. We can high
Although
five and say congratulations, and you get.
I do, however, just to be transparent, I get free Village Coffee on Sunday mornings at my church. That's our official coffee at church. So,
Yeah.
But everyone gets it, so it's not. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, that's good stuff. So
if you like coffee, go order it.
there's the comment there. If you guys want to order, use Rushmore, and that's it. The last thing I want to share is last week we had a friend on, which is Faith and Fandom, right? And he was on last week. We did top 4 Guitar Hero. He wrote these books. These are nerdy devotions. In here, it's devotionals about Zelda and devotionals about all kinds of things. And these other ones right here are also very similar. Andy and I are aspiring authors, and I am writing our own for the Rushmore Show. And hopefully by the end of the summer, because I'm a teacher, so I'm going to take the summer to do a bunch of this and finish up. Hopefully I'll be able to get our first Devo book out. So be on the lookout for that, because I would love to hand something off to some of our friends at these conventions that they would like to read. If you're not Christian, thanks for being here. If you are Christian and you ever want to have somebody to pray for you or chat with you, by all means, you can always put it in that chat. It's always welcome. You can always DM us at all the places below. and we'd love to have a conversation. What we really it's not about the bait and switch. What we want you guys to know is that not only are we Christian, but we're also nerds, and there is a place that this still lives, and we can hang out with people that aren't, without the weirdness. So if you need any questions or you have any questions you want to chat, by all means, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And that's it for our commercials for the week. Let's get back to the show. So let's finish off this mountain. B. Ross, you're up. It's Link. Zelda did not have a movie before the video game, and they still are waiting for the real movie. He did have a cartoon, so I don't see Zelda making it today in the Link spot. But maybe you can find a way to link something else into it. Link is for Lincoln. Number 2 on the mountain. What's your number 2?
Well, this is going to be a weird one. So, since we are able to have television shows, and technically this is a really long-running television show, and one of the best games on the NES, for the Link, good old Abe, I'm going with Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES.
Whoa, okay.
Because it had all of the actual athletes at that time that were on TV the year prior, and it's the one of the greatest sports games ever made, and to this day holds up better than any of the Maddens. So I know I might be bending the rules here, but I was on the fence between this and something else, and I'm like, no, I got to go with the weird one. So I'm going to go with Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES.
I love this pick, and I know Kirk is no. We gotta remove Kirk real quick. Hold on one second. Let's just there. We're a family show. We can't be showing offensive things like that.
Go ahead, bring it back.
You're back. You're back.
Hey.
Well,
Hey, so listen. It is well documented that I'm from New Orleans and I'm a huge Saints fan, but I'm a much bigger Chiefs fan. Since Super Tecmo Bowl back in the day, Derek Thomas, Christian Okoye, Percy Snow, Dan Saliamua, the whole nine. And back then, I was a huge fan because everybody wanted to be Bo Jackson, and I wanted to be the Chiefs and use the hammer, the nightmare. And Andy hates it when it gets mentioned because I have to bring old Patrick out. He might not be the champ this year, but that's okay. I'd reckon that there's worse places to be than losing.
that's because Tyler Shook is going to be the champion.
Bro, listen.
Look, the only reason you like the Chiefs is because of that Taylor Swift's boyfriend guy.
That's it.
I mean, she made him famous. So
I
Carl?
absolutely love him. No sleep till
Carl
Brooklyn.
Kelsey?
Yeah.
you mean Taylor Swift? Yeah.
I like Taylor Swift too, so we're there because my daughter loves that. So yeah. But
Sure.
yeah, 1992, got the starter jacket from when I was a sophomore in high school then. And man, I didn't go this route, and I had a feeling that it could potentially be wrestling, video games. Waves and Games, he's going to be on this year. He's coming on for Extreme Sports Games. Mr. Swift is a fantastic footballer. Yes, he is. Jay Funktastic is also going to be here. I love this comment, CDI games or movie quality, that goes towards the CDI Zelda game, I'm assuming, because I mentioned Link.
All
Thank
three
you
of
guys
us.
for all being here. But hey, I kind of had a feeling, okay, sports, wrestling, we mentioned it earlier. Could these fit in? They were on TV. My criteria, I just wouldn't allow it. But I love that you brought this up because Tecmo Super Bowl is on my Rushmore of favorite games of all time. Of all time.
Likewise.
And
Yeah.
and I love that. And I love that.
See, for me, I just go with whatever sports team is the arch rival of yours. So if you like the Chiefs, that's go Broncos, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now it'd be the Eagles, but nobody cares about the Broncos. Right?
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Actually, the Broncos had a pretty good draft, and the Raiders did too, and so did the Chargers. So it might be interesting this year.
The Raiders don't count.
Go
anymore.
Chargers.
Are you a Chargers guy?
Go Chargers,
Oh, yeah.
go.
Yeah,
I'm one.
You're
I'm
Oregon,
one, there's dozens of us.
right?
Yeah.
Dozens.
The tens of fans go wild.
See, I'm just not a sports fan in general. I just like to make people upset.
Yeah,
so
I
Andy,
feel that.
Andy is a Chargers fan at one level, right? Andy, I mean, you've always kind of liked the Chargers.
They're the correct LA team, but I don't pick correct LA teams apparently because I'm an Angels guy. So I mean, it is
Yeah, Anaheim, baby. They will never be the Los Angeles Angels or whatever crap that is.
Chargers.
The
Waves and Games are
Angels.
calling them out too. The Chargers.
the Angels.
Hey, I do like the Chargers. What's funny is I hate the Saints rivals way more than I hate the Chiefs rivals. The Falcons, can't stand them. I live in Atlanta. But I always love LaDainian Tomlinson. I've always loved Anton Gray.
I will say, I think the Chargers have some of the greatest uniforms in football.
Oh yeah, the powder blues. Oh
The
yeah.
powder
One of the
blues
best
is just
games
fire.
based on movies is Batman for the NES. Hey, stick around. Stick around. It might be here. I love that game too. It was.
I mean, I think we can all agree, though, too, just to make sure that Jay is upset, we can all agree that the Red Sox are terrible. Just to make Jay upset, go Yankees.
Yeah,
if he's still in the chat right now, he's mad.
There it is. There's the best logo right there.
The New York Mets, is that what that is? That's the Mets hat, right?
He's doubling down.
Remember this?
Egads.
This one? Who won that one?
He just said he's not.
No one won that. Both those teams suck.
No. All right, so Dave Lusko in the house, Mr. Louisiana RetroCon, the dad of Waves and Games group in San Diego. So I'm a mid-'90s Chargers fan. Hey, so good stuff, man. So that was
Okay to be wrong.
Yeah. So Jay Funktastic, thanks for being here, Waves and Games. Oh wait, Jay, you need a Jay Funktastic, which is not Jay Malone, who is the other Jay. Just so that we're making sure that's not Square Pegs.
Ooh, I'm going to tell him you called him the other Jay.
Show. He's also got a cool podcast, Nerd Cave. He's going to be on the show. Hopefully, I don't know if we nailed the day down, but I think in September-ish, August is the date. I think we have a date. I'll have to go and look. Chill Scissors, amazing channel. Huge support here since he's been visiting. Love Chill Scissors, a video game channel. Guys, if you're in the chat, you all have wrenches. Drop your comments. Drop your links. So Super Tecmo Bowl was the pick, and that's a great pick. I love the way you're going. Andy, do you agree that it's okay? Are you?
I'm on board for this. Yeah, I'm on board for this pick. Yeah, absolutely. Where else do you watch football other than TV? So I mean,
right.
Or in person.
I watched my son play. That's like the worst team ever. They're terrible.
Yeah, if you were to pick like backyard football, I wouldn't count it. But because it's a form of football that's played on TV, I'm here for it.
Those are the ones that are actually fun.
Or like mutant league football is not based on TV, right? But it's a great game. But anyway, yeah, good pick. I love this. So we are now going to.
Chill Scissors, we'd love to have you on the channel too. We got to get that connection. Yeah. So who's up next?
Game Dad is up.
It is me, and again, going TV, going cartoon. One of the best cartoons, and the remake of the game was just as phenomenal. It didn't have Moon theme, but I'm going DuckTales.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
You can't beat the music of DuckTales on NES. And DuckTales 2, it was fun. I would argue it's just below. It's not as good as the original DuckTales. But yes, it is fun. I thoroughly enjoy the Tales of Duck. And Moon theme is some of the greatest 8-bit music ever written. I will fight those that disagree. And yeah, the remake of the game is fantastic. I have it on several platforms, but I would argue the best version of the remake is the Wii U version.
Okay. All right. This is a good pick. I love platformers, so I'm here for it. It's my favorite of the. When we were talking about, I don't like RPGs because I don't like games that you have to pick up and play tomorrow and that kind of stuff. I just love platformers. They're just or like, beat 'em ups, like things like that. Side scroller. I mean, any of that kind of stuff. I love that stuff. And this is a great. I love the the colors in this game for whatever reason are really, I remember being really vibrant and really
They
cool. But yeah. And then, yeah, I mean, DuckTales music is great.
Oh, Aaron's in the chat. Oh, Chill Scissor says, so down. Let's light the fire. Let's do it, man. We're doing nostalgia. We need some extra guests in nostalgia. That's August, September. I'm sorry. That's July and August, and then September, October is sports, and November, December is food, and then we finish with video games, or start the new year with video games. So if you want to wait all the way to video games, that'll be January, February, which is so cool. Chill. We'll have you back on. Declan's in the house. Hello there. Like a good Jedi would. And Aaron Brown's one of my coworkers. He says DuckTales, the Quest for Gold on PC was a fun game. Yeah, that's a fun game. So I love this game. Fantastic pick for all the reasons. When we talked about music back in the day, we actually did cartoon music as one of these episodes. It was my number 1 or 2, I think, along with Ninja Turtles. I don't remember it. Flip a die and figure out which one landed. Love the original cartoon. When I was a kid, watching that cartoon after coming home from school, it was a part of the Disney Hour after school type thing. And one of the things that got me back into YouTube, I say got me back into, that got me into YouTube quite a bit, was watching video game streamers. And I was watching a guy, I think I found him on Facebook, and then I ended up finding out he YouTube, and I started following his YouTube. But and I don't even remember his name anymore because I don't watch it that much anymore. I would have to search for a while. But he was doing speed runs, and in his list of speed runs was DuckTales. And I would get so mad watching it because he would do all the tricks, and I didn't know all those tricks when I was a kid. And I'd play everything, every single thing, go through all the levels. This guy would beat it in like 6 minutes. And I mean, how much fun is that in real life? But to know that you have the record, like he was like 10 seconds off the record. I remember he was like, if I could do this, well, I'll break the record tonight. And he would always get like within. It was pretty crazy, and that kind of got me into watching. But that Moon theme is pretty good, though, Chris. That is a good music. They're all good music, to be honest. So
I would argue that the DuckTales theme song has the same level of iconic that everyone from the generation knows it as the Friends theme song. Everyone knows in the Friends theme song, you better clap. Okay. Thank you. And DuckTales, everyone better give a woo-woo.
Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince? Now, let me tell you all about it. Yeah. I do love Fresh Prince.
Yeah, there's a lot of... That was one of our first episodes, was theme songs.
Yep, theme songs was one of the very first ones. Because it was the intro to the TV, it was the intro to the show. Yeah, so we one of our very first episodes was that. All right, man. So DuckTales, great pick. Great pick,
Love
man.
it.
I love where we're going. Andy, what you got for number for link?
For my link, this may surprise you, Kirk, that it's not my George.
I'm already
We wanna
surprised
talk-
that it wasn't your George.
We want to talk about video game music being iconic. To me, it doesn't get much more iconic. GoldenEye,
man.
007.
Yeah.
This game is now. I will be brutally honest about this game. Played it. I don't think it holds up quite today as it did in the late 90s and early 2000s. But however, this is the game that you had to have. When I repurchased now my N64, and that's kind of been my hobby. This was one of the first ones I knew had to come with it. It was a fantastic game. It's a ton of fun. It still is fun to play. You know, we talk about controls and things like that. Guy doesn't like listing menus. It's the best pause music ever. It is. And I don't do anything other than pause. I remember leaving pause on as long as I could, sometimes if I could overnight to continue playing tomorrow because the music is just so good. But the game itself is fun, man. I mean, the first level, the dam, and you walk through that. If you don't go in the towers that's on the dam and go underground and just murk everybody before you jump off, you haven't really played that level.
You have to snipe them all.
Yeah, you got to kill every single one of them. But yeah, that how you start off in the other level in the air duct, and you get to shoot the guy who's just he's handling business is all he's doing. He's had a tough day at the job, and he's in the urinal or he's in the stall, and you shoot his hat off first, and then you kill him. But fun game, fun multiplayer. Kirk may not agree with that. We'll probably talk about that in a second. But fun multiplayer aspect. I remember playing that as a kid, and that was one of those original, before Halo. Like, don't look at my side of the screen. Don't look at my little quadrant.
You're screen peeking.
Yeah, your screen peek. That was the argument back then. But yeah, this game, and then also all of the cheat modes, right? Paintball mode, DK mode with the big heads, right? All golden guns.
Rockets only, baby.
Yeah, so it's just an iconic game. It's nostalgic enough, and to me, growing up during that time, yes, it may not hold up today, but I will still play it. It is still fun. It is still good. The N64 always gets the knock because of the controller, right? I think it was early 3D gaming, and it was kind of like they were trying to figure out how do we make this work with this. But first-person shooter, just a fun game, man. I love this game. GoldenEye 007, probably the one, like I said, Kirk, maybe a little surprised it's not at the George, but definitely not surprised that it's on my list. We're going GoldenEye 007.
So this was number 1 on my list to start, and then I took it off for The Simpsons. It moved its way to 4, and then I bumped Simpsons on. And what I thought was, I'm going to have at least one Crushmore with Andy. I'm going to make it Simpsons, not the GoldenEye. And I put GoldenEye as my number 5.
I also think you probably didn't put GoldenEye because you're just not good. It's not your jam.
Well,
first-person
here's
shooter.
the thing. I loved GoldenEye when it came out. The replayability is not there for me. When we played it the other day, and I stared at the mountain for an hour and a half, it got me off. I'm just
you need to not use a Trident. That's why you need a Retro Fighters Brawler 64, and then it'll feel so much better.
I am terrible at first-person shooters. I'm just bad at them. I'm just not good at them. It's something that I was not ever gifted with. That in my arsenal. I am not good at it. I am an RPG guy, an adventure guy, a platformer guy, a sports guy. When it comes to first-person shooters, count me out. I am terrible at them. And we actually had that show with another one of you guys' friends. Retro Rob did first-person shooters, and it was like RPGs for you, Andy. I'm like, gosh, I want to love them, but I'm just not good. So I took it off because it just isn't nostalgia. There's a little bit of nostalgia, but it's nothing else for me on this one. And I put it at 5, knowing it was probably going to be off the board. I
mean, all you got to do is get good, bro. Get good.
Yeah. Get good. It's like when my kid's playing baseball, right? It's like, just throw strikes. He's trying. He's trying. Yeah, just throw strikes. Aaron says, Worldwide Crushmore can't beat GoldenEye. Yeah, I mean, it was on my list, and I strategically took it off. I think the only first-person shooter I was good at was the OG Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah, the OG Star Wars Battlefront was pretty good. So, B. Ross, I know you stepped out for a second. He said GoldenEye is his number 2. Did you like that game?
Yeah, I heard. I still had it in my ears, but kind of was my first, but kind of was my George. But I had a feeling that everybody was going to choose this game because it is.
So, same thing I was thinking. I had it, and then I kind of was like, no, I'm going to set it here.
It's so good that it got eliminated. What does that say about this game?
No.
Everybody knows, like, when you think movie-based video game, especially it's one of the few video games that I think pop culture is more famous than the actual movie at this point. So yeah, I've never even seen the movie.
That is a good point, because we were talking about it the other day, and I'm like, I don't know that I ever even actually seen this movie. I've seen tons of Bond.
It's so good.
I don't
That
remember
and
if I've
World is
ever
Not
seen
Enough?
GoldenEye. So I went and looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, I have seen this movie." And I
Also
was like,
interesting
Clicking
that
10, man.
the gap of time between the movie and the game was 2 years. 95 the movie, 97 the game. So
"That's kind of crazy too."
wasn't
Yeah, 'cause
released.
Yeah,
Kinda
it was
didn't do that.
GoldenEye, it was World is Not Enough, and Tomorrow Never Dies.
Mhm.
And also I will say, the sequels to this game, or the games associated with those movies, are also fantastic games too, and may actually play better than GoldenEye, but there's just so much nostalgia to GoldenEye that it.
So we always talk about the cultural references. One of my favorite reels of all time is the one where the guy comes in and is like, "Hey man, I just need to pause music. It's just GoldenEye. Just chill out. Just chill
Yeah.
out. You don't need to do too much." He's like, "It's good."
Oh yeah, it's great.
And he's like,
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. All right,
I
Kirk.
always say this one in Battletoads. I love Battletoads.
Oh yeah.
The pause music. All right, well I'm up. I am up, and I mean, it was a good pick earlier, and I'm gonna have to crush more again right now.
Oh.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers. There's the original little handwriting from 10-year-old Kirk right there on that little thing.
That's wholesome.
Yeah, I'm going Rescue Rangers. Kind of one of the reasons I said, hey, let's do TV too, because there were TV ones that I really wanted, and this was one of them. And this game was incredibly hard, and it was one of my favorite cartoons of all time. I remember, like, this is actually one that I have revisited. One of the reasons that I love Disney Plus is kind of going back and revisiting some of this old stuff, and watching it with my kids. And this is one that I love watching, but the game was so iconic to me. I remember playing this game so much, and it was a hard game, but it wasn't. It was a game that I could, 10-year-old me or whatever. I don't remember exactly what year this came out, but 10-year-old me or whatever. I'll just say 10. I could learn the patterns and I could get better at it. And it isn't. I don't think I ever beat it. I don't even think I ever got to Fat Cat. But I know, like, I remember many of the bosses, and I love the kind of like Micro Machines, like how they dialed it down, and you were kind of, everything was large, and you were running around on a table, and just a fun game. And it's almost a perfect game to me. It's one of those ones that I go back and revisit quite a bit. So my number 2, my link, will be Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Nice.
Nice pick, Kirk. Way to go.
Yes, Declan, Kirk has seen. We talked about that on the last pick. We were talking about the movie. So I think B. Ross is the only one who hasn't seen it, but we should definitely see it. It's a
Yeah,
great
B.
movie.
Ross.
Yeah,
Pierce Brosnan is a
honestly
great Bond. He was a great Bond, AB. I love Brosnan. Interested to see where they end up finishing out with the next part of the series.
I think Brosnan is a great 007, but Daniel Craig has been my favorite. Although I really would like
I'm a
to see.
Connery guy. Guy.
Yeah, you're old though. So, but I would like to go with. I'd like to go with. I would love to see Idris Elba be.
Yeah, that's kind of where they're
He
talking.
is Bond.
I know, but not officially. He needs.
All you have to do is watch Luther, and you'll be like, yeah, he'll work. It will work.
Idris Elba is made to be 007.
Or The Office. Yeah.
He is that. He is also that. I need you to give me a rundown.
He's
I love
aware of
The
his
Office.
effect on women. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy is the biggest fans for that. So we could talk that. We actually did a show on our favorite TV shows of all time. Andy's Office.
Nope. My number one
now
is
you're leaning
not.
towards Parks and Rec, which is funny. But
Parks and Recreation is my number one.
It
But
beats The Office
Office
for you?
is 1B. I mean, it
And
doesn't
mine
matter
is
what.
1,000% the Goldbergs when it comes to comedy. And so we went. He had to do his top 4 from the Goldbergs. I had to do my top 4 from The Office, and I watched it straight through. He watched it straight through just for that show. That was a fun show. But yeah, Office is fun. All right, so we're at the George. Number 1, your number 1 movie to video game or video game that was a movie first game. B. Ross, you're up.
Well, I was gonna see the GoldenEye thing is interesting because I was gonna crush more of that, but like I said before, I had a feeling everybody was going to pick GoldenEye, and right now I feel like it's an easy out, so I'm not gonna go that route for George. Actually, none of us have spoken about this character, and when it comes to Batman, you got to think of all the games that have came out, which one do I feel is the best movie or show adaptation? And here's the thing. I played through every single NES movie-based game for my YouTube channel for a review I did, and I played through every single one. There's 57. Every single one, not including shows, just movies. And there were only a handful of games that were S tier. Like maybe 3 that were fantastic. And really at the top of that hill, it was Batman on the NES. It is so well made. And I think I have it. Oh, I should have had it next to me. Oh well.
Joker sucks.
It's just so well made. It came out right at the perfect time for the movie. The first Batman on the NES goes as my George on my Rushmore of video game movie / TV adaptations. It's also got amazing music, just like Moon, just like Wily Castle from Mega Man 2. Just you can hear 3 seconds from that game and know it is Batman on NES. Controls are tight, character's great, the world is built well. It's hard as heck. Like
Yeah.
NES.
That was on a video I did of top 10 hardest NES bosses.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
Joker
that-
at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That was going to be what I brought up. That this game is extremely. I remember like quitting multiple times.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because
You didn't quit. You gave up for now.
I've never picked it back up, so it's a quit.
It's still
So-
a for now.
Just fun fact. The same guy that was doing DuckTales also did a couple other games. And Batman was one of them. And Ninja Gaiden or Ninja Gaiden, whatever you want to say, was another one. There's like 25 that he would always play. And they were all NES games, and there was a handful. And watching him beat Batman in like almost a no-death run would piss me off to no end because that game is so incredibly hard. I tried playing it not long back on this little system, and obviously it's not you're not playing like it's supposed to be played. You're not on RGT. You're not doing all that other crap, and it's kind of clocked a little different. But like I struggled getting to the first boss. Like it was it would just frustrate me to no end. But this game, the music, the action, there's a reason I chose it for the thumbnail. If you've been around long enough, usually I choose the thumbnail one of 2 ways. I kind of spin them. Either it's definitely one that I want to pick, or it's one that I think should be worthy to be picked. In case nobody else picks it, I've got to show it somehow. And I thought the original Batman game for sure needed to be there. To have a little bit of love. I'm glad you picked it because it is worthy. We're not worthy.
It's a dead giveaway for me because on my YouTube video, it starts with that Batman game as I'm explaining the episode. And you kind of could just tell, like, yeah, it's of all of them. That and 2 other games I think were like God tier from movie to video game, just on the NES. And man,
Yeah.
I just realized it was on your thumbnail right now. I'm like, oh, I look like I copped out or something. But trust me, I have a whole video on my YouTube channel about the NES games, and I praise this game like as high as
No, I mean, I usually try and pick something that might be somebody's George, even if I don't pick it, or and then I usually try and pick one of the music for the IG, for the Instagram, as one of the ones that I think should be picked. So if you're paying attention to those things, you'll probably know something that might be mentioned tonight. Kevin says it's just give up for now. Hell, I finally beat Battletoads a couple weeks ago after too many years of trying. I don't beat that game either. We talked about most hardest games with RNG Gamer and Keith, and Battletoads was on it. Batman was mentioned. Yeah,
There you go.
they're freaking hard games.
It's my favorite NES game.
It's a fun one.
Love it.
Especially if you can get to like past the snakes, like all that stuff that nobody ever really gets to. 90% of the world don't get to. It's really accomplishing. All right, so Batman, Chris, what you think about Batman?
I like Batman. I don't like the end of Batman. The game is super fun, like you said. The music is excellent in it. The level design is fantastic. The boss is the cheapest crap ever. But no, it's a fun game. And
Yeah,
a
Rat
no
Race is
death
hard.
speed run, like whatever, man. Like go touch grass.
Yeah. So yeah, speed running that is just crazy. And what's the other guy's name? Andy, I mention him every once in a while. The guy that speed runs, the cowboy.
Oh, I don't know his name, but he's the most
Arcos,
relaxed guy.
gosh, Kevin's gonna
Arcus?
know what I'm
You're
talking
talking
about.
about Arcus?
Arcus.
Arcus.
Yeah,
Like,
Arcus.
watching him play Ninja Gaiden. No, he's a different one, but watching him play that and only get hit once on the final boss because you have to,
Oh,
that
man.
pisses me off too.
Have you seen Slackinator? That dude who actually
Yeah.
the first guy to. That's
Yeah.
he's my homie. I personally know him. You should ask him on the show. That guy's like incredible.
We want him on
Uh,
the show. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that.
I could link you guys up. He's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
let's
love
do that.
listening.
So January and February is video games again. We'd love to have both of you guys on again. But yeah, so Batman, great game. Love the pick. And it's obviously an honorable mention for me because I kind of gave it away with talking about the thumbnail and stuff. But yeah, Andy, let's finish up our part and get to these honorable mentions.
Well, did we get?
Oh wait, Chris is up.
Yeah, Chris is up. I was going to say.
It's fine. It's fine.
What's your
So-
George number one?
My Georgie. So I'm going more modern with this one. Not too modern, but more modern. I'm surprised its franchise hasn't even been mentioned. But based on the movie and for a licensed game, it is absolutely fantastic. And it invented what is considered the greatest swinging of all time, Spider-Man 2.
Mm.
Oh, man.
PS2, man.
Solid.
That game, I remember when the new Spider-Man games came out, and all I could do was compare it to Spider-Man 2 because that game, it was so good graphically. I mean, it still holds up okay today, but graphically, it was still a great game. Just the missions that were in it, having the ability to find like all the different collectibles and everything, and just the swinging mechanic. You felt like you were actually Spider-Man swinging through New York, and it's still amazing to play it today. And yeah, the only Spider-Man game I can think of at all that actually nailed the swinging mechanic is the modern day Spider-Man ones by Insomniac, because as far as I'm concerned, they are not capable of making a bad game. And just Spidey 2, baby. All
So yeah,
the
the new Spider-Man, the one that was the big craze, like a year ago or whatever.
all three of them are good.
I
Even
watched.
Miles.
I watched a couple people play through that online. Some people that I follow, and that's a fantastic game. I don't own any of those newer systems to play those.
Oh.
But I do have. And I didn't bring it out, but it's right over there. I have the Spider-Man 1, which was not nearly as good as Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation 2.
It was still good, but they improved every way in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, and the reason Spider-Man 2 is not on my list is I never had it, never owned it. I believe I rented it. I believe I played it probably at Kevin's, to be honest, because I played a ton of my stuff over at Kevin's house. Kevin, did you have Spider-Man 2? Did we play that? But I don't really have a lot of nostalgia for it, but I do know how amazing the game was because I remember being in awe of it. It's just not something, because I never owned it or never really had it. I just had the other Spider-Man. So it is another Benjamin of mine, and I expected this to be on the list today. And I kind of expected one of the other ones, the newer ones, to be on because it was such a big deal when those things were out, the Insomniac ones. So good pick.
Well, see, I would argue the newer ones were not based off of TV or a movie. The original Spider-Man 2 was based off of Spider-Man 2, the
The
movie.
exact movie, yeah.
It was a
That-
solid
exactly.
tie-in. Yeah.
Hang on, though.
Wasn't the first Spider-Man game to have a cross-platform release too?
It may have been because it was on GameCube too.
Yeah, it was on GameCube and not Xbox, but GameCube, and they were the same game.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Who's your favorite Spidey though? Are you Toby, Andrew, or Tom?
So I would have said Toby all the way up until Tom, and I just think Tom fits the character perfect.
Toby for nostalgic reasons.
Yeah.
Tom overall. Andrew
And
Garfield.
I
he's
even
cool.
like Andrew. I don't hate him. I liked what he brought to the table, but I think Tom Holland is a perfect cast. Almost. I mean,
He's going to be the only Spider-Man actor in history to be or to have 4 Spider-Man movies. The new one is on its way, and he confirmed everything with it. They're already filming all that. I mean, obviously, he's been in more Spider-Man or been as Spider-Man in more movies than any of them. But he will be the first one to break the curse of the trilogy.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Nice.
All
Yeah,
right.
you took a Benjamin away from me too, because Spider-Man 2 was absolutely up there. So
It's epic.
Um,
It's an epic game.
this is a good pick. This is definitely a good pick. All right. Well, I'll move to my George now. Kirk, this is maybe the one. Now, I've definitely talked about this game before. It's one of the games that I just distinctly remember racking up some late fees from Blockbuster for. I owed Blockbuster a lot. I essentially bought this game without actually buying it. But PlayStation 2, actually the gap between movie and game might be the longest, I guess. 1979, the movie
Whoa.
comes out. 2005, the video game comes out on the PlayStation 2. Warriors come out playing.
Yeah.
Dude, the Warriors on PS2 is fantastic.
So I had you pegged for
Solid.
all 4. I'm not kidding. I had you pegged for all 4. I had you in a different order.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. I knew it was going to happen there. But yeah, so Warriors to me, Rockstar game, very much in lines of kind of the GTA feel. Like you could do some different kind of side quests and things too. But there was the underlying storyline throughout the whole thing. Super, super underrated, I believe, but fun game. And maybe underrated in the sense of I just don't hear it talked about a ton. But the Warriors game, if you have not played it, it's my favorite
It has
one.
a high cult following. Look, ChatGPT said it was one of the best. Like,
It's one of the games too that's like I was looking up like video games you forgot about, and it gets on there and it's like, well, I didn't forget about it, but yeah, I get the point there. I almost picked up a copy for you at one of the cons recently, but the asking price for it, I mean, I love you, Kirk, but goodness gracious, they were asking a little bit too much for it. But yeah, it's a great game if you're able to pick that up or
I
play
still
that
need
game.
Warriors. It's Benjamin of mine. So I kind of had you at 4 on this one, and then I was thinking, okay, so I was thinking 4 on this one. I was thinking Simpsons was 1, and I kind of thought GoldenEye would have been 2, and so I would have had 2 and 3 pegged for you. I just thought you would have switched 1 and 4. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, but I will say this too about that game. Fun fact about it is, yes, it's the based on a movie, but I didn't even watch the movie until I played the game. I remember playing the game, just picking it up at Blockbuster. It's like, oh, the cover art looks cool or whatever. It looks like a fun game. Played it, and I was like, oh, this is on. This
My
is
favorite
on
part
movie.
about the movie when I was a kid was the baseball game.
Yeah, and that's in the game itself too. So
Yeah,
there's
and I remember how
where
cool
you-
that was. They were all wearing like Endymion masks from Mardi Gras, and they had their baseball bats and their pinstripes and stuff. Anyways, good game, man. Did y'all play Warriors?
Oh yeah, I love that game. I kind of was surprised they didn't expand upon it. Like,
yeah.
it is like the only Warriors game, and like for some reason that box art just pops in my head anytime I think about it. It was so cool. I think I played it on the Xbox, right? Was it only on the Xbox? No, I think it was also on the PS2.
It was PS2. I played it.
Was
on
that the
PS2.
one where it's a dude? It's kind of like a blue costume, and there's like a masked dude on the front cover. Am I thinking?
No,
of
I
the
think it
right
has them with the jackets. The I can't think of the names, but I see the big red writing that goes across the top. It's just
Okay, no, I
imprinted in
haven't.
my
I
head.
haven't played that one then.
Yeah, this is a fun game. If you haven't played this one, I highly recommend it. I know it may seem like that's a George, but this is when I thought movie tie-in games. It was my 1 and 2. I knew it.
No.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh no,
That's-
okay, I remember that now. Yes.
And then like here's the baseball guy right there.
Hang on, do I have
Baseball Furies. Yeah. Yeah, that game's worth having.
Come out and play.
No, I don't
Alright,
have
so,
that one. It looked familiar though.
Yeah, so man, I just have to do it. I can't believe I had to do it, but Chris, I love your picks, man.
Oh yeah.
There
Oh
it is.
wow.
There's look at that. They're colored in triangle. That was the thing I had to do. I mean, this is weather. This thing has got some, man. This was my original copy as well. Man, these two games got, along with Super Tecmo Bowl. Oops, I lost my feed because I hit the side. But hit it again with Tecmo Super Bowl, which you mentioned, B. Ross. These 3 games probably got some of the most play for a substantial amount of my life. And I love these games, man. First off, I love Capcom. Capcom is one of my favorite companies of all time. If we ever do that, I've always wanted to do that. And Andy kind of backed off a bit. If to pick just video game companies, Capcom's probably on my. If it's not my George, it's pretty close. And I love these games. I love the Disney aspect. At the time, these are 2 of my favorite shows. 9, 10, 11 years old, whatever it was. And I can't say any much more that Chris, you said. But man, it's a fun game. The music, I'm hearing the deaths of the bugs and stuff. I love this game. Bouncing on the pogo stick and hitting it with the cane, and all the bosses were epic. But yeah, it's my George game. I'm one of the reasons I was like, hey, I'm going to do TV because I wanted these 2 in there, and that's just how it was. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So that changed a little bit about where I was going with my picks. But
now, see, you've got the DuckTales in there, but do you have its twin?
Yeah, somewhere over here.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
This I blame Riggs entirely for this. This was, I believe, my first or second year at MGC. We walked in, and I was like, "Oh wow, DuckTales." He's like, "Huh, $300. You should buy that." And I'm just like, and I'm like hemming and hawing over it. And he's like, "Come on!" And that's what started the trend of we all help each other make bad decisions.
Yes. Well, I have a few of these from my original collection. So I don't normally go and buy the big 300s, 400s, 500s, but I do have some because I just never threw them away. I never got rid of them.
Well,
But my mom did though. My mom did though. So what
my
I wish
mom threw away my original 151 first edition set of Pokemon cards.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Kirk, maybe you can answer a
retired.
question for me. Those are your original cartridges from childhood, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain to me what that discoloration is? Because I have so many carts, and I always wonder how that happens. That's specifically that lighter gray, almost like acetone spilled.
Well, I mean, you see his beard, right? It's the same thing. It's just with age.
It's
so,
wisdom. It's wisdom.
so yeah,
I've always wondered what
it's
causes
got
that.
Some real big weathering. I don't know. But yeah, these are definitely my original. This one was my nephew's. I won't show it to you because it might be coming up. Oh,
You won't
man.
show it to me because you don't have a video right now.
Yeah,
I won't show anybody.
So I won't show you the game, but he got his name. He put his on the side like that.
Oh,
nephew.
okay.
But yeah, I got a few old schools, but nothing that if I saw it in a convention, and I'd be like, no, and I'd much rather sell it than buy it for sure. So Yeah, so that's going to be my pick. So that's how we're going to end the day with the mountains. And now it's going to be time for our Benjamins. So this is a quick, fun game. It's how we end it every time. If you're in the chat, I just went and looked. I think we have 19 in the chat right now. I think we only have 18 likes, which is pretty low. So if you have forgotten, go and hit the likes. It's one that won't go down in price. So if you need to grab it, grab it. Yeah. Absolutely. Great. Thank you.
He also convinced me or tricked me, however you want to look at it, to get a complete in box Vectrex
Oh wow!
with a complete in box controller and several complete in box games. It was a killer
I
deal.
feel like,
The
Kevin,
big tall
did you
one?
say you had that
Right.
too?
Yeah, let's see. It's right there.
Yeah, I can see it back there. Yeah, it's a big. Yeah, man. Wow, I think I saw that at the PDR.
He says allowed you.
That was one where I called the wife for permission on that one. I was like, "Hey, I want to make a purchase." She's like, "Well, if you're calling me, it's not a cheap purchase." I was like, "It is not." And then I was this close to not being able to get it on the plane back home.
Oh yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
a big old CRT, isn't it? Or like a
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was in box, so it
Oh
was yeah.
gosh, was that in Portland?
No, that was Midwest Gaming.
Oh, God, I've seen that one before. Or the Vectrex. That's the only other one I've ever seen. That's cool.
Yeah. I should have bought it in Portland. It was way cheaper there.
All right, well, let's finish and do our second part of the show. Here we go. We call it All About the Benjamins. I'll explain it in a second. So, yeah, we still have Diddy's music on there, even though nobody likes him. So, and for good reason. I mean, we had it from the beginning. But it's all about the Benjamins, baby, because Benjamin Franklin was widely considered maybe one of the next guys to be on the mountain. Never happened. So who missed your mountain today? It's a fun game of just how to get some more honorable mentions to talk about games that didn't get full-time love because of that you only get to pick 4. But we get to mention some more. Now, here's the big deal. All the things that we mentioned today already are gone. You can't pick Spider-Man 2 anymore. But what you can do is you can pick anything that's left in the library. But once you mention it, it's gone. Here's the draft order. B. Ross, you're first. Chris, second. Andy, third. I'm fourth. Second round, it's the other way back, though. It's like fantasy football if you've ever been a part. It will be me, Andy, Chris, B. Ross. And then in third round, B. Ross, Chris, Andy, me. And then me, Andy, Chris. And B. Ross, you get Mr. Irrelevant, who I don't even know who his name was this year, but there was a famous one in San Francisco called Brock Purdy.
He was a Patriot.
Yeah, he's a Patriot, but he was supposed to be a Chief. We traded him away, so yeah. So we were like, we don't know.
Kobe Minor from the University of Memphis.
He has a minor role in the NFL now.
Here, make sure you hit the like button. That's one of the best things that helps us in the algorithm is on these lives. We've learned if we can get it to about 30 or 40, we're having a good night. And I think it's at like 19 right now. But so B. Ross, you're up first. Garbage Day Podcast, everybody. Go check that out. Super Garbage Day Podcast. David Bryant in the house. Hey guys, you're looking for a convention to go to, new convention. This is one of the conventions we're going to be in. David Bryant Piano is doing the Augusta Video Game Expo. He did his first one in March. The next one is next March, I believe March 21st. You can correct me in the chat, David. A lot of people here that you can invite, man.
Hey.
Yeah, so have them in Augusta, Georgia. That's our neck of the woods. So we'll be at that one. Yeah, we have a
I haven't
date.
been to Georgia yet.
Is it March 21st, David? So his first one was this year. It was successful, and now they're moving to a bigger building and going to do some things. So, yeah. Anyways, David, throw all the information in the chat. Thanks for being here. So you're up, B. Ross. Now, you don't have to mention a lot about this one. This is kind of like a speed round, but it doesn't have to be like just name the names. You can kind of say a couple things. So what's the first one that missed your mouth?
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Nice.
That's a great pick. It was on my list. Good pick.
Game's awesome.
That is an awesome game. Yeah, absolutely awesome game. All right. That is worthy of mentioning. And Chris, You have one that
Darkwing
you.
Duck.
Oh yeah.
Darkwing Duck on not so much the NES one, and it's also kind of a shout out to Gary Rock Solid, the TurboGrafx one.
Oh
The
wow.
TurboGrafx version of Darkwing Duck.
I don't
It's
know that I've
better
ever
than the
played
NES
the
one.
TurboGrafx one, but I do enjoy the Nintendo one. It's on my list, the Nintendo one, but I'll take it off for the simple reason. All right, Andy.
What do I do on here? I have so many games on here listed. I'm going to do one because it's my favorite movie of all time. And the video game is not that great, but there's some nostalgia tied to it. It's actually a pretty difficult game for not being that great of a game. But I'm going to go Wayne's World. Wayne's World video game was.
Wow, you probably
was
could have
a-
saved that one.
I could have, but
Yeah.
I feel really safe with my 4. So
Yeah, really, really safe with your pick. Hey, look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. So I get back-to-back picks. I'm gonna go with two. I'm gonna go with two very big nostalgic ones. For me. Yeah. Well, one of them is my name on this one? No. Friday the 13th for Nintendo, the original. This game so hard. Another hard game. Another really hard game as a kid. I'm gonna go Friday the 13th for my first pick. You know what? I'm gonna skip out and do a different pick. I'm gonna save this one because I believe I'm gonna have this one for later. But I'm gonna go with Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, so good.
And
So
I
Andy hated it.
love this game so much. So much lore has been introduced because of this game. And as a Star Wars guy, this is why I really wore the shirt, because I wanted to do that one. But yeah, that I'm gonna go Knights of the Old Republic.
Nice. I am going to come back with another adult cartoon. This is definitely adult. I'm going on the Sega Genesis, Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead. That was a fun game, man.
Roller coaster. All right.
I have them tattooed on my leg.
Nice.
Yeah, so I told you earlier
is
that
he
only
doing TP for my bunghole?
no, I have them peeking over where my Chuck Taylors stop at my foot, so they look like they're looking over my.
Oh,
I
that's
wear Chuck Taylors a lot. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
but I told you earlier that on my YouTube video about the NES games, there were only a handful of ones that were like top tier, and this was.
Wait,
one
we
of
got to
them.
go. Hold on, real quick. We got to go to. It's Game Dad, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was
You
just
get-
thinking. I was like,
I
I
know
got
you
lost
get
in this
back
too, and I'm like, wait, oh.
And he's going to choose.
Kirk, now it's B. Ross. I
know,
feel
man.
it. I feel it.
I got Beavis and Butthead on the mind. My bad.
Fire. All right. Well, my next one, classic cartoon, excellent Genesis game. Real Monsters.
Oh, good one.
Andy,
That's a deep cut.
Andy, this is one for you, bud.
I'm a '90s Nickelodeon guy. So
God,
this is a really good pick.
that's a hard punch for you, man.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Remove it from your list.
I just did. I just erased it. All right, now we're to B. Ross. You get back-to-back picks now, though.
Okay, my bad. Okay, well that's great because there were two other games that were in the S tier on my list when I played through all of them. So I'll just do both of them. The first one, Gremlins 2 on the NES,
Fantastic game. Another one off my list.
super good, really underrated. A lot of people don't realize. Also, awesome movie. And then going back the other direction, Willow on the NES.
Oh, and
is also-
another one off my list. All right. Yes.
That was on my backup list to my list.
Both those
Yeah.
games.
So
were
look,
playing.
and actually on my list, they're back to back.
Nice.
It's perfect.
Wavelengths, man.
Hey,
on the
Jay
wavelength.
Funktastic. See you soon, man. Thanks for being here. Gremlins 2 is underrated, John, and that's a good pick, B. Ross. It is a really good game. Really good game. All right, so back to you, Chris.
And I can't believe no one has mentioned it. TMNT 2, the arcade game
Oh yeah.
on NES. No one has brought that up. That game is amazing.
Yeah.
No
so,
turtle games.
So
Well, except for the water level. That sucks. But yeah.
I in my mind, I was like, Ninja Turtles has got to be one, but I never brought it. And I even mentioned the
So-
music earlier.
Why I know it's not based on that thing, so I totally get the pick. But what eliminated those types of games and even the Batman games for me, I didn't mention this earlier, was that the original was the comic, right? So like even in that, but I know the game's not based on the comic, so I totally get your pick there. But that was just that helps me narrow things down.
The Batman movie was based off the game was based off that game, even though it wasn't. But that was why it came out.
I thought the game was based off the TV shows or the cartoon.
Well, one of them was, and one of them. So the I think the Turn of the Joker was. Maybe?
No. I mean with TMNT.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think that one was.
That's
In my mind, I eliminated the characters just because of that. But that was just to help me sort of somewhat narrow things down. I love the pick. But
Yeah. All right, Andy.
Oh man, where do I go from the next one? Okay, so this is an under. No, you know what? I'm going to do this one because, and I don't think it'll be taken because you are. You already picked your Star Wars one. I'm going to pick another Star Wars one, but I'm going to pick one of my favorite Star Wars games next to Episode 1 Racer. Very unique game, Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars is what I'm going to go with.
Aaron is still in the chat. This is his favorite game. He loves
And
Lego.
and if I'm not mistaken, there was actually the Lego Star Wars, wasn't that on TV too? So there's those things too. So yeah, Lego Star Wars.
All right. Well, I am. Yeah, I mean, I have two in my hand that I want to do. Just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go with these two. Because there are some other good ones up here. But yeah, I'm gonna go with two more Nintendo games. And you said they're only S tier. They're not S tier to me. They're more N tier for nostalgia. I'm going Goonies 2, right there.
Oh,
Loved Goonies. This is supposed to be like the sequel to it. But man, I enjoyed this game. Kind of a puzzle quest type of game. And last but not least, probably would allude you to being a movie or a TV show because it was an anime movie. But I am going with Little Nemo, the Dream Master.
Great game.
This game, there's my name on it. Yeah, bang. Little Nemo and the Dream Master. It originally was 2 years prior, a year and a half, was an anime movie before they made the game. So when I saw that, I was like, absolutely.
yeah.
And also another Capcom. Bang. So that's
Bang.
I mean, on NES, they could do no wrong.
They couldn't do no wrong. Come on. Yeah. So yeah, OG Dusty Dark Forces is the other one hanging around here somewhere. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
So who's up next?
My next pick, my last pick here, seriously underrated game for the N64. I'm going to go with Duck Dodgers starring Daffy Duck. I loved this game. This is a fun
That's
blockbuster.
an expensive game.
I forgot about that game.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Tough
It was another one. It was a perennial blockbuster pick for me. So
yeah.
But,
Hey, Chris would know. How expensive is that game right now?
Yes.
yes, it is. To answer your question. All right, well, Chris, where you get your last pick here? What's your last Benjamin?
So my last pick, and it goes back to Jay again because he has never steered me wrong with the licensed games or just games that he picks, and that is Lilo and Stitch on Game Boy Advance.
Nice.
Oh,
Those
Disney
games are
had
like
so many
not
good
just Lilo and
picks.
Stitch, but any of those properties on the Game Boy Advance are just good, man.
Game Boy Advance is so underrated.
interesting.
Oh, that's like, I will say, probably my favorite Game Boy Advance game. And again, this one came from Jay also. And as Jay says, it has no right being as good as it is. And it's so true. Right here. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance on Game Boy Advance is so good.
Wow, I actually hear really good things about that game.
And even complete in box, it's really not bad as far as price goes. I mean,
Look,
yes, it's an
not
expensive
all
DBA
of them are
game.
amazing. Disney games, I don't know. There's just a lot of nostalgia and fun with them. I mean, they're so the colors are always so good. There's a couple out there that are obviously super hard that haven't been picked yet, but I enjoy all of them.
Dude, Goof Troop on the Super Nintendo. Oh my god, that could be so
that's
good.
Yeah.
All right, so one more pick.
We
This
got the
is
Kobe
Mr.
Minor.
Irrelevant.
Kobe Minor. What do we got?
Kobe
That's what we gotta
Major.
start saying.
Kobe Major here. So I really thought about it, and I got to go with Dream Master with Kirk. My copy with Kirk's name. No, I'm kidding. I was between two, and I can go up the weird, obscure one, or I can go the one that
Weird.
is less.
Go
Really?
weird.
Okay.
When the choice is, always go weird.
Go weird.
I'll go with my favorite Star Wars game then of all time.
Uh-oh.
Star Wars Galaxies on the PC. Now, a lot of people didn't play it, but if you did, it encapsulates that universe perfectly. It sucked all of your time away before the combat update, and it's one of the greatest games I think I've ever played in my life.
Nice.
You had to be in the MMOs though. It was one of the first, like, before MMOs really got big, and
I do remember that vaguely.
it's really, you can go to all the different planets. You can go to the cantina, and like all the characters are there. It was that, or it was Jaws. So,
You chose better.
but
You chose better.
yeah, Star Wars Galaxies, man. I'll never be able to play it again. Too, unfortunately, it's one of the few games you can never ever play again.
Have you played the Knights of the Old Republic MMO? It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's a little. They did something a
It's
little different there.
huge.
They made it they kind of made it World of Warcrafty, right? Like
Yeah. Ish. Yeah,
ish. Yeah, but yeah, and I think it's free to play.
it
if I
is.
remember correctly.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
that
There you
is
go.
the end of our lists. But before anybody leaves and gets out of here, we would just want to say thank you to everybody in the chat, some of our new friends. Before you leave, make sure you hit all the fun things and help out the channel. You're definitely welcome back to visit in the chat. And if you'd love to be on the show, we'd love all of you to be on the show. We if you're a part of the community, you are welcome to be on the panel. It is just that easy. And let me tell you about what we do. We do 6 topics. Right now we're starting movies, but we blend over to bring in like video game creators in the movie side by doing movies that became video games. So we're in movies and TV now for the next 2 months, and then we go nostalgia. After nostalgia, we go sports, food, and then back to video games to start the new year off. And we just left music. So there's 6 topics. We do each one for 2 months. And you're all welcome back. And you guys are welcome back on. John, Dusty, David. We'd love to have all you guys. I'm just kind of scrolling through, seeing who Jay Funktastic's going to be on the show already. He's booked for August. Kevin's been on the show. He's going to be on again. Declan, Aaron would be on the show, but he is a little camera shy. He's not going to be on the show. I can tell you that. But he will be in the chat. But all you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for just loving us so much. David, you're welcome. Let's chat it up. Hit me up on any of these things below. Hit me and Andy. We'll chat up when we can do it and what topic you want to be. But we would love to have you, and we want to be at your show, like we said. Before we leave, we let B. Ross go first last time, so Chris, go first. Tell everybody who's left here about your channel. Why are you have all those video games behind you? What are you doing? What's coming up next for like any series or any kind of videos that you want to kind of share with people to come and watch? Drop it on them so they'll come and be a part of your community.
They're making me confront it again. I'm a hoarder and I have a disease. You can see it on my walls. No, I collector and on YouTube, and then I also post like reels and stuff like that on every other social media. But primarily YouTube, and I do. I cover retro and modern, and I do restorations. I do mods. I do all kinds of stuff like that. I'm at a bunch of different conventions that are going on across social media. It's Game Dad Show everywhere. Upcoming cons in June, I'll be at the Illinois Game Con. In August, I'll be in Utah. And also in August, I'll be in Marquette, up into UP in Michigan. I'm looking at my list. I got Cleveland in September. I got Pittsburgh in October, and I think that's it. I don't know. But yeah, lots of cons coming up. Definitely come hang out, say hi, all of the things. And yeah, I mean, follow everyone, like the podcast that way, and like the stream so they get more stuff. And check out all my buddies and people that I just met for the first time tonight in the chat. You mentioned that one person is super shy on camera. That's how my buddy Matthew was. Dusty Flotilla started his channel, and super proud of him. Also super mad at him because that dude's going to pass me in subs in probably the next couple of months. He has been going for like no time at all, and his channel is blowing the heck up. So definitely check him out.
He came and popped in, I think, around SquarePeg's time frame. And
well, and he's got a recent
over the course of the last few weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely check all of them out. And yeah, I'll see you in the interwebs.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for being here, and we can't wait to rub elbows again and come up with another cool topic. B. Ross, what's going on your channel? Share with the new friends that just showed up before we head out.
Okay, first off, hey, Game Dad, I'm thinking is that a Donkey Kong behind you, that arcade? And
that is a Donkey Kong Jr., but it could also be a Popeye or a Mario. But no, it's a Donkey Kong Jr., baby. Oh, yeah.
Cool. Props to that and the Tube Buddy shirt. I didn't know they sold those.
They didn't. I was fancy. They gave it to me personally.
I was like, I've never seen a Tube Buddy shirt. It's cool. Well, my name is B. Ross. I co-host the Super Garbage Day podcast, which is a retro video game review show. 20 years or older games, randomly pick them. The community puts them. We spin a wheel. We play them. We review them. Also have a movie review podcast coming soon that I'm going to be doing with my wife. And it's kind of the same premise. Random movie. We're going to review it. But that'll be in the future. I'm going to put my link in if I'm able to. And I'm not.
Yeah,
so
should be able to.
Oh, there we go. That links you to everything. We also have a YouTube channel that I've been neglecting for a little bit, but I'll catch back up on all that. We got more episodes coming out soon. It's a lot of fun. I just love this community. Everybody, and what's cool about this show is all the people I love and are huge fans of have come on the show, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. So check it out if you like. Just you're an everyman playing games and reviewing them. I think we've done hundreds of games at this point, so there's always fun things to discover in this realm. And I'm a collector too, but I don't have like Chris's collection is so I'm like amazed.
It's okay. We can't all be this cool.
Man,
it's
amazing. So, but thank you guys for having me on the show. I'm so happy to meet everybody, and I just appreciate you guys giving me the time.
No, man. So listen, when Andy and I started this 3 years ago, we didn't ever expect to even have one guest on. It was thought it was just going to be us two talking to each other, much less people in the chat and showing up. This has been a fun ride. We don't have 100,000 subs, but we love to have a good time. We love the community. We love hanging out with you guys, and we love supporting you guys. Because without you guys, it would be really boring, just Andy and I talking back and forth to nothing. And we have a couple conventions we're going to be at. One this weekend in Louisiana called St. Tammany Collectors Con. We have Louisiana RetroCon coming up. We are going to be in Pelicon. We hopefully will be in the Augusta Expo. We have another one at the end of December that we potentially could be in called Cajun Con. We would like to visit a couple that we have on our maps to visit, like Siege again, and a couple of the others in the southeast area of the world. We would like to finally eventually make it out to the west. But every time those conventions are happening, there's just some other things that are happening. So maybe within the next year or two, we can find our way over there. We love all you guys. We thank you for being here. We thank everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit the like before you head out. Next week's episode. Let me do that real quick. I didn't share this in the beginning, but I got to share it now before we.
And I got one more thing once you're done with that.
Next week's episode, Real Life Perspective, is going to be on. He's a great bud of ours. He's usually in the chat. He's got a great show that he does on Friday nights. He does movies and stuff. Go follow him. Real Life Like the Real. And then Geek Tonic, which is Christian Geek. They're going to both come on, and it's going to be a fun show. We're doing fictional bands. So the top 4 fictional bands ever from movies and TV. So that'll be next week. Hey, speaking of somebody we've been chatting about all night, Retro Card Collector in the house. He was on with RNG. We talked hardest games. And Keith, I think you're going to come on with Weekly Warp Pipe with Russ in Nostalgia during the summer. So that would be great. But we're just about to head out, Keith. Chris has something you want to share before we head out?
Oh, yeah, I had one more shout out since I have people watching. I might as well pimp myself out. Hey, if you're ever in need of things like merch, stickers, any of that kind of stuff, all of your favorite people, I've been doing all of their stuff. Check out KC Art and Apparel, and I'll put it in the chat. But KC Art and Apparel, I do everything. I do stickers, I do vinyl, I do shirts, I do hats, embroidery, laser work, everything. So like if you've seen like any of the people that I've mentioned tonight, you know, like Dusty and Jay and Riggs and all of them, I do all of their like stickers and stuff like that. And like, I don't know if you've ever seen Riggs shill hats. Those are my embroidered hats. And then like I've done a bunch of his cart labels and stuff like that. So yes. Shirts for a convention.
So
I will happily take your money.
That we have dropped out. We've done a few prints. We've done a few orders. We've done a couple stickers. But man, we are always looking for stuff for the conventions. We will probably reach out and see what you got, man.
And I don't require minimums. So
Oh, wow.
everyone always is just like, oh, it's a minimum 50 order. Nope, I don't do that.
All right. Well, we will be in touch, I'm sure.
I will happily take everyone's money dollars. Let's go.
Well,
Oh,
I'm glad you shared that for everybody. Look, David says he needs some stuff for his convention. If you want to,
Oh yeah, totally down.
Connect with him, David, and we'll talk soon. Dusty, love to have you on the show. Thanks for hanging out in the chat all day long and being here. Love you guys. We'll DM y'all. But Andy, it's time to tell everybody good night. We're at 2.5 hours today. We are loving hanging out with good friends.
We're almost approaching on Joe Rogan status now.
Yeah.
Not quite. He's got like 9-hour episodes, but I'm never going to be there. But yeah, man, thank you guys. Echoing everything Kirk just said. Thank you guys for being on here. Thank you everybody who is in the chat, saying all of the fun things, and talking all about nostalgia, which is what we love to do in 2.5 hours. So I think it's about time to say good night. We're going to say it like we always do. This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top 4.
And nothing more.
And nothing more.
Peace.